Because I'm still muted. That's what it was. Ladies and gentlemen, what's good? It is Thursday, June 25th, 2020. And it is time once again, after a week off, because work-life balance is a bitch.
Yep.
It's time for Tech Talk Thursday. And I honestly, I don't know. First, I guess we can start off with introducing the hosts. Of course, I'm one of your hosts, Marcus Major Linux Summers in the building. Of course, rocking that cookout hat. You can get it shopped at thecookout.org. Do it. Actually, have I worn this on the show already?
No.
I don't think so. I think I was supposed to debut it last week, but I never got a chance to. Yeah, right. So, yes, that's right. Finally got a hat, so I can now wear cookout paraphernalia while streaming, which it makes me so happy. We also got K-Gas Gaming in the building.
It's your boy.
It's your boy, Kev. And out getting his tea.
Well, he's getting the tea. He's literally getting the tea.
He is literally getting the tea as we speak.
Literally getting the tea as we speak.
We got Ciniac. Kev, I know. Look, it's been a week. And I'm gonna try to kill time, try to fill some time until Cindy gets back. Man, how you been, buddy? How you been?
I've been good. I have been good. You know, I'm alive. Every day I'm not a hashtag. It's a good day for me. That's what it comes down. That's really what it comes down to. And I live in the stand your ground state. So I'm in a good I'm in a good way. You know what I'm saying? Like every day I am like the old folks say, it's better to be seen and not viewed. So yeah, whew. It's been a crazy couple weeks, but you know, I have been good. I have been good.
That's good. That's good. It's sad that's the state now we have to appreciate life in. Is like, I wasn't made a hashtag today, so all right. I guess that's good. That's good news.
Mm-hmm. Every day not a hashtag.
Whew. Yeah. Sorry we did not have a show last week. I got caught up in the server room at work trying to get a computer to work. You know, for as much as people love these RTX, these NVIDIA RTX cards, they don't work very well with Linux. I spent most of the day trying to install trying to install RHEL or Red Hat Enterprise Linux on a box that had one of these RTX 2080 Ti's installed, and the graphics card kept breaking. Ultimately, I realized that I was spending so much time because the graphics card would break. I would see an error, and then that was it. Come to find out that the computer was working the entire time, but it would always freeze at that error with this specific monitor. So, I spent most of my day just like, yep, I guess this is broken, you know. I guess I'm gonna be here all day. It's gonna be fun. Matelia out there switching games all willy-nilly. Just launch both Prison Architect and Sonic Mania at the same time.
Oh damn.
Matelia got that beefy computer. I could play 2 games at once. What's good? Nope. She's go back to Prison Architect. Thank you, Windows 10, for showing my notifications. It sounds like a pain in the RTX. Yes. What's much more of a pain is seeing these super duper expensive cars, knowing what they're used for, and they're used for any other time that isn't a pandemic. I would say important work, or even during a pandemic, it's important work. Because again, shout out to Folding at Home. I use my GTX 1080. I use my Ryzen 7 2700 to do protein folding. And almost all of it exclusively now is COVID-19 protein folding.
That's great. That's good right there.
Yeah, it keeps the room nice and it keeps the room nice and toasty now. Every time I come in here, like things are just spinning at full speed now. But yeah, like for those purposes, yes. But we don't use those cards for that purpose at my job. So I'm like, why are we doing this? But yeah, the computer had the server I was working on had 2 RTX 2080 Ti's. 2 of them.
Well, damn.
And I had to take one out. So it's like, it's been a weird thing for me since I've been working this job where I've been holding so many expensive graphics cards to not be playing games with them. And it really bumps me out. Because I'll be at home like, man, I really just want an RTX 2080. But, you know, man, at my job, like, just on my desk is a 2080 Ti. It's like, I can't do anything with this.
Made. Tea has been made.
Yes, and ladies and gentlemen, Ceniac has arrived. After hours Apex party or something, it'd be nice. But again, because they're in, like, I only have access to the Linux machines. I can't run Apex on those computers.
Why would you play Apex on the 2080 Ti? In crisis.
I mean, I would try to run Apex on that 2080 Ti and try to stream it. Because that game is not optimized for playing and streaming on the same system. It is the worst.
True. I have noticed that one pretty well because as me trying to play it twice, and once for the cookout, it was like, oh come on, man, don't embarrass me, game.
Yeah, it worked out for you just a little bit, and it made me want to try it. But then I was like, man, I don't know what Kev got on his computer. It ain't working for shit on mine. You know, I'm kind of mad.
GTX 1060.
Okay, yeah, I don't know what the fuck was happening. Like, I tried, and it was like, meh. But then, too, I think it's because I was trying to do 1080 60 with 6,000 kilobits. Like, I was trying to do literally the most.
It was like, bruh, listen.
Yeah, like if you turn it down to 720p, it'll be great. Like, no, that's not what we're doing here.
Okay, we have feelings about that, is what we're trying to say.
That's right. Top shelf streams. That's all it is. Sin, how you doing? I know we've been gone for a bit. We've been trying to catch up. Oh no.
Oh, nothing. I got you. The tools of the trade, as it were, are here on the desk. We're fine with that. I just had to have dealings with the Roman cat. So.
Well, how you been, man? Again, apologize again for not being here last week. We were talking about graphics cards because I was dealing with a very expensive graphics card that doesn't want to work on Linux. So,
there are some people who apparently watched the wrong media outlets or whatever and thought, since we are finally at the peak of our boredom, not like there aren't things going on or whatever, but because we're at the peak of our boredom, we can just now go back to work. And so they decided to drag Major back into this office and whatever else.
Yep.
And that's what's happening there. So what we're not going to do is apologize for that. We're going to be thankful that he survived the endeavor.
There you go.
Thank you.
Happy to have you, man. Man.
Thank you.
I'm glad that you were able to go out among the people and come back to be with us, and that you are not ill. I am thankful for your good health.
Oh, we still gotta wait 2 weeks. That's the sad thing. That's the sad thing about this. Still gotta wait about 2 weeks.
Don't do it. But let me have this.
All right, ladies and we're going to dig into. Hopefully, we can make it through this week's tech stories. Of course, I had to. Yeah, things just went ape shit this week. So I tossed out last week. There was good size show last week, but I threw it out because, man, things just kind of went to a new level of fire today.
But
of course, like normally we start off with the tech, we do gaming, we do streaming, all that stuff. I'd be remiss if we did not start with this story here, kind of in relation to what's going on right now with all the people coming forward, not just within the streaming community, but just I've been hearing rumblings everywhere. I only follow gaming and streaming, but I hear like wrestling's having a similar moment. I guess almost anybody with a social media account and who's been harassed and abused, they're finding their voices. And they're speaking out on their abusers. So definitely, I want to thank these people who are coming out, because again, it's not just men, it's not just women, it is men too. I want to thank these people for definitely coming out, being brave, and sharing their stories. Right. Like I know I tweet about a whole bunch of shit, and I didn't say anything again, like, but definitely know that I believe everybody who is coming forward, who are sharing these stories, and that's the big thing. That's the big thing. Like, we have this culture to where, you know, people come forward, they report these things, they try to tell their friends, their family members, their significant others, and even people close to them, they don't believe them. So then they don't come out. So then, like, it doesn't matter when it happened, it doesn't matter how long you waited. I am happy, I'm glad, I am thankful that these people are coming out there sharing their stories.
Right.
One thing I tweeted before we went live, because again, you got people out here who are mad because, you know, people are getting in trouble and, you know, they're losing their channels or whatever. They're stepping away. It's like, because they think it's cancel culture. This isn't cancel culture.
Imagine thinking that something is cancel culture and, oh, we're getting in trouble for things.
Right.
Because of choices you'll literally decide to get out of bed and make. Like, you woke up out of bed, you put on all your clothes, you turned on your computer or got on your communications device and decided to put that nonsense out in the world, and somehow are surprised, like Pikachu face and all, in like high quality definition, when there are consequences.
Big facts. Nope. Like, you went out there. Just this is what it says. You went out there. You put the toxicity into the ethereal, and then you were surprised, like, oh my god, my job. Like some. I mean, people. I mean, it was just like people were doing that on the brand accounts. This ain't like the side thing, left, right, two doors down accounts. The side stuff. No, this is like,
y'all decided to be wild like this on main.
On main counts. On business accounts, business emails. How?
Like, so, like, there were people who are literally getting fired for being 5 minutes late to work, and somehow y'all thought that doing something this egregious would just be like, nah, we're fine, we're cool.
No, that wasn't it. It wasn't it.
But unfortunately for companies like Twitch, Twitch CEO accused of laughing off reports of abusive Twitch partners. This came out Monday. I'm gonna tell you something. I was happy to come to Tech Talk Thursday on Monday. I was really happy. We got news that iOS 14, iPad OS 14, new MacBooks with ARM processors were coming out.
Oh yeah.
So excited. But in the middle of my WWDC presentation, I'm watching the fucking bottom fall out.
Yep.
Between this and the other story we'll get to later. But I cannot fathom.
Can't.
I mean, I'm sorry. Let me walk that back. I can fathom, but not to this extent. That when you are being told that you have a toxicity problem on your platform, the thing you say is, wow, the things that go on our platform, can't really comment.
Those crazy kids.
Oh man.
We're gonna talk about this in bullet points, because there's at least a bullet point 1, 2, and 3 with subsections. So we're gonna start with the following. We're gonna start with the following, right? If there is anybody out here in this here universe and who's just like reading all of this and is like, I don't know why all these people are suddenly coming out now about these things and they're saying all of this stuff when they could have said something a long time ago. Allow me to tell you that story that we're talking about with the Twitch founder didn't happen on Monday, didn't happen on Tuesday, didn't happen this week. It happened like a year and some change ago. What happens is somebody been done told y'all, and y'all went, as a thought, as a treat, Why don't we just ignore that? And this is how we end up in the spots that we end up, because people tell you the first time and you don't believe them, or you tell them it's just jokes. Why are you so sensitive about it? Or maybe you misheard this person that I don't want to check because I like them and I like their content and whatever else. And then we end up here. And I will go ahead and personally deliver all the way from Athens, Georgia to you a Kick Rock summon that you are free to redeem at any time, you know, if you have anything negative to say about these people who are coming forward about anything, because they tried, and they tried with receipts and everything to let us know that this was a problem. And suddenly, when it blows up and becomes a critical problem, everybody wants to issue a statement about how they're looking into things and how, you know, like they don't stand for this stuff and it's against their policies and all of this. And I'm just like, did you ignore the 1,300 reports in your system?
Wow.
Do y'all remember when we told you about like people walking up into convention bathrooms with cameras and y'all decided a 3-day ban was a good enough way to handle that? Like, I just...
Right.
Wow.
Like literally people going through the proper channels and then being like telling you, they're going through the proper channels and you've gone through it and you said this person did X and this person has done X and he has sent me X and he has done X, and you basically say like, we're looking into it, and you do nothing, and that person is still on the platform, face of the platform. And then that's what ends up happening when people come in and say like, okay, since this is how it's going to be, I'm going to drop all my receipts on Twitter. But again, they've gone the right route, and this is what the right route was, and y'all choose not to go to follow up, so end up receipts get on the internet, and that's just what happens.
You hate this.
And I mean, in the wake of this, because y'all don't nip it in the bud when it's small, you got, and this will come up later in our cast today, I am sure, whole platforms have collapsed and disappeared and sunk into the ocean, never to be seen again. And whole companies have closed, and whole teams of people are straight up in disarray. Like, it hurts everybody to ignore this stuff.
Everybody.
But you know, I'm just a person sitting up here with peppermint tea and honey. I don't know anything, I guess.
Same. And me with my orange cream soda.
And me with nothing. Nothing at all.
I mean, you know.
There's an empty Dr. Pepper can here somewhere, I guess. Well, I've got this bottle of white rum. I mean,
crack it open if you got the time.
I mean, got nothing but time now. So yeah, like this is like, this right here is only just the tip of the iceberg of what's going on. I mean, there's not the things going on within Twitch. There's been high profile stuff going on. If Ubisoft of all places, that's I think I've gone on record to say that was one of my favorite publishers. Like Ubisoft was doing great things, but apparently, you know, the inner workings of that company ain't all that great though.
That hurt me to my heart.
That did.
About this particular person, because this particular person was like a part of a thing that happened last week and was a part of that thing for another community, and that happened in a way where I was like, when I heard about this person, and I'm thinking like, why is that person name sounds familiar? I went back, and then it just like hit me, because that person was a part of that thing, and it was like, boy, I tell you, it's just one of those things that like, it hurt me to my heart. It was like literally like piecing things together. I spent like that whole day like piecing everything together, because it was like, oh, it's this, right? No, it's not this. It's that and this. And I was like, what, that and this happened? I didn't even know. All I heard, I had to literally go in, and I had to go in and like, I needed like a YouTube documentary of the events of stuff that was going on. I needed like a right opinion version of that. I needed a British man to tell me in a British accent what was going on between what was happening and pieced all this together, because I had no idea. I was like literally coming through, and there's still some things that are like gaps, but I know like the overall of everything happened, and it just like turns my fucking stomach, man. I'm just like, oh my god, just like people in industry taking advantage of people, and just oh my god.
All the public ones, I know the writer for what is the game, Dying Light 2, like I think for this week he's the one that I think that was the name that kicked it off. There's some other people within Ubisoft.
Noah Bradley, I believe it was.
That name sounds familiar. I don't want to go on record because I don't remember.
That was one of the people who ended up getting named this week. It was a whole thing.
The creative director for Assassin's Creed Valhalla stepped down yesterday. So his personal life and his family life is shattered. And that's just, again, that's Ubisoft. Like Ubisoft, which is in the news. And then I think today they released like a 6 sentence statement saying, "Oh, we're looking into it with an external investigative body." I know Twitch, they put out a statement late last night, and follow some high profile bans that came through. There were like 5 last night, but I'm not sure if any more had been, any other permanent bans had been made since then. Speaking from X Life, I know X Life has purged some people. Arsenal GG's co-founder Reed Scarfino was ousted yesterday. Yeah, the story with that is like, dude, man, what?
And the thing is, it's like, and just for the sake of saying, I don't see this being a thing that's going to slow down for like another at least 2 or 3 days. Because the amount of time and effort it takes for people to be heard one time. I think it's one of those, finally find some people who are willing to listen to you and believe you the first time, and it's just kind of like, I don't even know if I want to say this, but I'm going to put this out here so that at the very least someone else doesn't have to deal with it.
Right.
And you just get that, but it's like hour after hour of that several times a day. And it's everyone from some distant shadowy figure you've never heard of off in the ether somewhere to like literally someone's stream you could have been in yesterday and everything in between. And it's just like, there are some things that, like, some names that I've heard drop this week that it just like took the wind out of me. Like I just logged off of Twitter and just sat down on the bed and was just kind of like, I'm done for today.
Yeah.
And that's just over here with me being like, that's just like heavy to process. I can't imagine what it's like being a person holding on to that and being like, if I tell these people, are they going to listen? They're probably not, because no one would believe that this person, this man, this woman, this whomever in whatever position would listen to me if I told them that it was, it was their favorite, like their person, their, like content creator or whatever, their YouTuber. We have a hard enough time as it is getting people to believe that people are racist, even if they have like literal like Nazi imagery in the middle of their YouTube videos. And then you have to deal with stuff like this where people have to have, here's like the 5 screenshots and the entire phone receipt record plus the text messages all the way back from 2010 to 2014 because y'all wouldn't listen then when I told you.
I'm still telling people about PDP. I'm still telling people in the year of our Lord 2020 about PewDiePie.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, what did he do?
What didn't he do? Yeah.
Bye. I'm going to log out for the day. I'm just going to go on ahead and hit this log out button.
Please don't. Please
Like-
don't. We got
like
got
when
things to do.
when you tell me I was like happy when I was happy for T Series because I was like,
Yeah,
about time.
I have no idea who you are, what you do, but let's go.
Let's go and support this because I mean, my lord, the level of just like of strength of just putting problematic dudes on the just having problematic dudes be the face of it to the point where it moves by people being an asshole. Like if we be assholes ourselves on our collective times, we're not gonna mess up anybody else's coins. We're not gonna mess up anybody else's change. Do you know how strong your assholery needs to be to fuck up everybody's coins twice?
Meanwhile, that platform is talking about their terms of service, but still paying you. You know what?
Exactly. It's like, and then you get slap of the wrist where you basically like, oh, your series doesn't come out anymore, i.e., we don't have to pay you this for this particular thing. Instead of having to pay you, we could just pay you less, which is still a lot of money.
So you have all of that, and when you have so many examples of this, where in spite of the platform's terms of service, they'll just straight up be like, well, there's money involved, we don't do that, or there are power dynamics and influence involved, and we just don't. So imagine in this situation where those dynamics on the level of gender, period,
Right.
for one thing, are very heavily skewed. We're going to also throw in another thing right here, and like this is no tea, no shade, but very, very, very big truth here. In the same way that we're out here talking about the things that, we're over here in the cookout. We're black as hell out here, right? Okay. So, the same that we're talking about the ways that white people with their powers and their privileges and their influence need to work to dismantle these systems that quite frankly they put in place and set up and maintained by their behavior, conscious and unconscious. We're gonna have to disable that shit too as men.
Yep.
So and that's like men across the board. We're gonna have to have those conversations of, I'm gonna take you aside and tell you this one time, we don't do transphobia up in this bitch. We don't do that. We do not speak of women in those words, in those tones. And she just told you to leave her alone, and we're in the middle of this convention. I will go ahead and drag you out here by the scruff of your collar. We're not gonna do that today.
Dude, I remember there was a bit of a time when men didn't talk about women in public houses, in bars and pubs, because it was like it was like this area where we are, and you talk about your girlfriend, your wife in this place where we do all this drinking and smoking at. That is not cool. And we have to have this level of reverence for our women, for our women of color, for our black women, for our women of color, for our trans, for like, we need to have this. We need to nope, you're not gonna do that shit. Not to me, not around anybody else. And even if they have to be like, and even if they want to sneak, or they have to sneak off and do it, because I'm not going to be the one that's going to be like, no, we're not doing that. There be some times where I've been in chats with other people, and I know they be joking and ha ha he he, but I'll be like, we're not talking about this person like this. Because when you set a line and when you set a tone, when you're like Captain Picard in that movie, I think in that movie the line draws here, this far, no further, and you just say, nope, we're not falling back. We are right here. You are not gonna say these things in front of me. You're not gonna say in front of this, in front of that person. We hold the line. We say no. That is the end of that.
And I mean, by all means, feel free to bring the sound and the fury. But also, here's the thing: one, it's not about all of that. Two, you don't have to do all of that. And three, and this is real important, so pay attention. We're not out here trying to do this to be seen. You should be doing that because it's the right thing to do, right? People should, like, disrespect shouldn't just be flying in your presence, period. Not because it's good on things, not because it's good on your socials, not even because you want to be seen in a certain light or even as safe. Like, if you are a safe person, people will find you. Believe that.
Right.
Believe that. Okay? So, like, if you're going to be out here doing the thing, be out here doing the thing because it's the right thing to do, and be consistent about it.
Yeah, it's the thing of, and I've seen some people do this, like, you know, you got guys out here, look, I believe you, and man, I was bad, I'm going to do better. But see, it's like, it's that lesson of people need to learn how to stop one sentence early.
Okay.
Because the next sentence is, if you want to share, you can talk to me. Like, because that's earned.
Because here's the thing: if they thought you were safe to share with, they would have already found you.
Yes.
That
is earned. That is earned. You don't just ask for that.
No, you don't. You never have to ask for that. You have to be like, you just have to be like, I'm here. I'm ready. Like, if you have to exude the I'm here and I'm ready to talk and listen.
Right.
You don't have to say that. You just have to exude that.
Yeah, like
in a way where people feel comfortable to be able to tell you about what's going on with them.
Yeah, like I was doing a stream and I said, look, if you have to tell me you're an ally, you ain't an ally. If you have to tell me that you are the thing that you want me to believe you are, if you have to spell that out to me, maybe like, you ain't it.
Every single thing that has come out since these protests related to George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Tony McDade, and others across all of those stripes.
Ahmaud Arbery, too.
Every single one of those, right? Every single thing you have heard about the way that allyship works and the way that safety works in those spaces also translates to this space. You know, there's something about blackness in particular. You know, it's kind of, I don't know if any of you play guitar or if you play instruments with strings, but there's something about stringed instruments where if you play even one string, all the others resonate in one way or another. And blackness is the same way. If you start talking about this stuff and you start opening up, we need to do better about how we treat black people, you will notice that almost every single way that we have to describe the way that y'all should be doing better with that translates to literally every other kind of oppression there is.
Exactly.
Y'all should have been taking notes because, like, we're now in the middle of a pop quiz, and let me tell y'all something. From what I've seen from these replies, we have a 66% failure rate. We need to get that cleaned all the way up.
Exactly. I mean, it's just like say, to concur with also what Marcus said, like, if you have to tell people you're an ally, you're not really an ally. If you have to tell somebody that you're safe, you're not really safe. I'm safe. Yeah, like, they have to. Safe is not a statement. Safe is not a title. Safe is a feeling. Safe is an emotion. Safe. If I feel safe around you, then that safe is an emotion. Friendship is an emotion. It's not a statement. It's not a term. It's both a title and a feeling.
I think it's a feeling, but I think it's definitely more of a. If you're a person who's observant, like I know most of us tend to be, some of us because we have to be, it's a thing that we're able to observe, right? Mm-hmm. If you are that person, I don't have to tell you. Your reputation will speak for you. Other people will tell other people if you're safe or not, without you having to even step into the room. Ask me how I know about that. But that being said, right? If you don't have people who feel comfortable talking to you and being like, I know that if I talk to Linux, I know that if I talk to Kev, I know that if I talk to Sin, and I tell them, yo, we have a little problem right here. Whether that problem is with us or with someone else and in one of our communities, right? If y'all don't feel comfortable enough to talk to me in these community circles and be like, yo, we have a problem and I know that you're going to clean that up if I bring it to you. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave this right here. Can you handle that, please? If people don't feel that way about you, that's on you.
Mm-hmm.
Repeat that, underline that, make it in bold red text. If people do not feel safe around you, that's your thing to work on, not theirs. That's not something for you to go and make a post about or find people or DM them and feel like, why didn't you talk to me about that? If they don't feel safe around you, you need to work on that.
That just seems weird. It seems really weird.
Write your feelings in your journal and come back to it another time. Like, don't bring that to other people. Like, leave them alone.
Yeah, that just it seems weird. Like, why would you look for that? Like, these stories are painful, and it pains me when either like somebody does share, or if I just read I read these tweet longer posts. It pains me to see that stuff. So why would, like, it's something that you shouldn't be going looking for. Like, why would you want that?
If you care about people, you wouldn't be asking them that, because in a lot of cases, it's not even safe for them to talk about that in those public circles.
So yeah, it's just
facts. Oh,
why would you just look for that? I say people are just fucked up in the head, man.
Very.
So let me just go ahead and put this out here for the chat. I hope y'all are doing okay. I hope if you have read all of this stuff, because listen, that's traumatizing and triggering for everyone. Our men, our women, our non-binary agender folks are all sharing similar stories of like this stuff, and it has to be real. It takes them to places.
Yeah.
It takes them to some dark places. So listen, if you haven't done it yet, take a break, log off of your Twitter at least one day this week, and if tomorrow happens to be that day, log out tomorrow. Like, y'all can't keep consuming this stuff. Please take care of your mental health. But also, if you're going to read this stuff and keep in mind that these people have been sitting on this. Every single one of these I have read. In 2016 this happened, in 2015 this happened, in 2014, like, these people are just like, I knew no one would believe me for 6 whole years. And then they come out and they tell somebody, and the first thing someone does is, well, where are the receipts though? Even though, and this is the thing that killed me this week, when I started reading on Tuesday, someone would say this person did something. The person that they were talking about would say, that's true, that happened. And people would still come in to try to defend this nonsense. Y'all.
You had somebody to corroborate this.
You'll have like a straight up confession over here in writing, and will still ignore people who are trying to tell you what is happening. Y'all can't keep doing that.
Because there's always an excuse. There's always an excuse to be like, why didn't you come out this before? Why didn't you bring this up then? But then, why does this matter if it happened now? But and then even if
like, you're just looking at them like you are literally doing why.
And exactly, and even if they did it, then it's like, oh, there's a changed individual. They've done so much better for the community now. They've given so much money, but it doesn't really truly matter if the person they did was so heinous. It is heinous what a person does.
I mean, and can we talk about how y'all not...
There you go.
Listen.
Come out.
For everyone, but for the men especially, because we are awful about doing this one thing. I need y'all to listen to me, and I need y'all to hear me when I tell you, no one owes you forgiveness. If you come out here and you do some heinous nonsense, and you come back and say, I'm sorry that I did what I did to you, but I haven't done it to anybody else, that has nothing to do with the rest of the trauma you have put that particular person through. They don't owe you nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They do not. If you go and be changed, you can go and be changed and have good relationships with everyone else. Leave them alone.
Exactly. Just, you apologize.
Leave them alone. You got that L. It is in gold foil. It is a rare collector's item that only you get to have. Take it and keep moving, and preferably in silence. Don't say too much. Don't do too much. Don't do all of this extra.
That's right. That's right. Just leave. Apologize. You know, I like what somebody said. Like, when you apologize, apologize on your phone. Don't bring the DSLR out. Just go ahead and be like, with your eye crust and your boogers in your eyes, and just be like, I'm sorry. And just get off the platform. And that's it. You apologize, you get off the platform. Because nobody wants to hear all your thoughts, all your mechanisms, all your, your deep reflective conversation. No, nobody wants to hear that. Just leave. You apologize, and then you disappear.
Oh,
You know, that's it.
One more thing while we're out here, because I think it's important. If y'all come over here in my DMs, and I know nobody here in chat is going to do that because y'all know better. Hopefully.
They should know. They should know.
If you slide up into my DMs on some Brock Turner nonsense and talk to me about how we're ruining these people's careers and all this other stuff, if you have built your career on abusing people, get the fuck out. I do not care. Burn that shit to the ground and the platform right behind you that you tried to build, because you built it on abusing people, and fuck you. We're done.
You can't build your little platform on hate and expect people to just gonna be cool with that. No, you can't do better things.
They're trying to rename themselves and keep going with this streaming thing, so we're going to talk about that too. But that's another tech talk conversation.
Ooh, you can't do that. You can't build your house on trollish, and then want to pivot to try to positivity. You don't know how.
Right.
Your audience don't know. Your audience don't know you for good. They know you for the troll stuff. I try to build my stuff on positive. Try to build my stuff on good positiveness. Oh, what happened?
No, like he's having a dad moment.
Oh, okay. Oh my! No, Mrs. Lennox, read the room.
I mean, and I forgot y'all can hear me in Skype. My bad. I need to pipe my microphone through many platforms now.
It was like, uh-oh, I thought it was towards me. I was like, what did I say?
I swear I can't.
Man.
Again, I got less than 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks. Sooner I'm on a different floor from the rest of my family. I swear.
Oh. I'm thinking like, dang, what did I say?
Sorry, but I did not mean to derail things.
No, that was fine. But yeah, I was just saying, like, you just can't build. You just can't build your stuff on that much hate and abuse, and think that like the platform is gonna hold you back because you brought them jokers some money. And I'm like, do you not know who the parent company is? Do you not know Daddy Bezos? Daddy Bezos don't care about Daddy Bezos don't care about you. Don't care about you. He don't care about nothing about these things. If it's feel like this gonna mess up his spring catalog portfolio for a couple of days, he will Bobby Axelrod your shit. Please believe me when I tell you, Daddy Bezos ain't having this. They'd be like, no. Do you know how much this man paid in alimony? He don't want that. He don't got no time for this.
Wait, whom are you speaking about?
I'm talking about Daddy Bezos.
Nope.
That's what I'm saying.
He makes too much money to pay. Apparently, he and other people make too much money to pay attention to this, and I'm not going to say that either. But back to the original point that brought all of this back, that brought all of this up, about things related to this platform. I need to make a disclaimer.
Mm-hmm.
It is good and healthy and important for us to critique the platforms that we use. If they are fucking up,
yes,
saying so is not bad. It is not a crime. Y'all have got to learn to tell people, this is cool, and not instead of, this is cool, and you are also fucking up in these 6 areas that you need to fix. That needs to be a normal conversation to have, and just healthy and frequent. Like, this needs to be like an every week thing, an every month thing. If we have stuff that we need to be progressing toward to get better, then we should be able to talk about that. Now, related to this platform, I'm just saying, if you went all the way up here and said, like, hey, there are these people who are problematic in a way that breaks your whole terms of service, and it's just like, oh, those crazy kids. Yeet yourself into the trash can. Yeet, and I mean with a rocket pack. Yeet yourself into the trash. There is no reason.
I got the garbage can.
Thank you. There is absolutely no reason for you to.
There's plenty of room in here. You can just like squeeze yourself right in here.
We started 2 weeks ago with the whole Black Lives Matter thing and talking about how marginalized people are treated on your platform. We are back here, not even a whole 2 weeks later, with a completely different set of things related to sexual assault. Y'all cannot keep doing these things where people are being harmed in droves and then just go, hey, we're looking into it, we're having conversations about it and all this other stuff. We'll update you with a post at some point.
Not being ready for them conversations.
Not to mention the fact
that you literally have like a human resources department to prevent these things from happening. If you're not preventing things from happening, you are not functionally doing your job. Fix that shit. Like, we're out here, like, y'all basically on the level of state police.
And not to mention the fact that this is also in the middle of Pride.
It's in the middle of Pride. It's in the middle of Pride. Smack dab.
Twitch got hit with a triple threat just in the blink of an eye.
A Sharknado of epic proportions. Like, my God. Like, all of these allegations, all of the allegations that are coming out, and then the quote unquote mass exodus that's about the mass exodus, not exodus, but I say like mass import of new people that's going to happen during a story that we're going to get to at some point. But
do y'all want to move directly to that? I mean, we can just move the whole streaming section up at this point.
This whole.
So, since we're talking about this Exodus thing, do we want to talk about topic number 2 of the day?
Yeah, I brought it up. There we go. Microsoft closes Mixer and partners with Facebook Gaming. Ninja and Shroud free to stream on Twitch again.
Ooh, y'all. Can I just say that news was awful news. I took none, and I do mean none. I took zero joy in finding out any of that information. It was awful.
Yeah, like, who was the president? Was the person in charge of communications for Mixer? Were they let go first?
So, I'm not even aware at this point of who was let go first.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I meant that in jest, because whoever decided the timing and the way they announced this clearly was not in charge of sending the message, or they were just absolute shit at their job.
Right. That was basically it.
Because you told the top people, you told Ninja, you told Shroud, and maybe a couple of other people, but you didn't tell your other partners.
No, you told. What you told were the people who had the money and resources to come back with legals. If we're being real about it.
Okay.
The people basically you told the people
that's how that feels. Because I mean,
you told the people with the contracts.
We're talking about millions of dollars being moved behind these people.
Right. You told the people who they dropped the big money on first that this thing was going, because you had to, because what was going to happen is when this shit hits the ground and it hits the ground, them legal eagles gonna start popping off real quick. Then all of a sudden,
let me go ahead.
No, I'm saying, and all of a sudden it's gonna be some big lawsuits come up, and Mixer ain't got it, like, to be able to, and Microsoft is not gonna be like, oh no, we could pay him. Let's go ahead and pay him. Let's pay him and get him out the way.
So I mean, so if that's the case, like, I mean, granted, I don't know. Maybe their own fucking employees just ain't got that scratch.
No, let's talk about the people who didn't get informed. People who did not get informed included, below a certain level, their partners, their affiliates, and their employees. Now, let me tell you something. I might have my own feelings about these different platforms competing out there, their quality of services, the different issues that they may have with different people and all of that, right? Right? I might have those issues. But I can tell you one thing, which is I am not a fan of things like this, where numbers of people who were making like livelihoods from the platforms, whether as an employee on the operations side of Mixer or as a partner on Mixer who is trying to monetize that content and do this other stuff, or the people who were trying to grow into that space just suddenly don't have an income and don't have a platform. Now, that's not to say that these people don't have different backup things that they may be doing, jobs that they may be working, or any of this other stuff. But like that level of communication, the way they just smooth said with no sense of irony to everyone on Twitter, like basically breaking up with a text message at like 9 o'clock in the morning and being like, "Dear everyone who works here, you don't have a job anymore." The fuck?
Trust. Big fact.
And just smooth slid out of that and then said, "Hey, we merged into Facebook, so if you want to, you can just go ahead and get that automatic partner if you're a radio partner here," and all this other stuff. And I'm like, of all the platforms you could possibly think of to do, you come up with the one with the most problems with the people who you would be moving to this platform. Are you serious right now?
Nope. Like I say, and I don't like to deal in absolutes, and I don't like to be like the person that says like, "Oh, nobody streams on Facebook gaming," but nobody's streaming on Facebook gaming. Nobody. Like they have like maybe like a few people involved with Facebook gaming. You know, there's probably some people on the platform status. But if you've ever spent more than like 5 seconds on Facebook gaming, it makes you want to pull your fucking eyes out. Because it's the ugliest ass interface that I've ever seen in my whole freaking life. I remember how janky YouTube streaming service was, and that in like comparison is better than fucking Facebook. How is a company more like how in the world is a company more scummier than freaking YouTube? How?
So, and like, here's the thing, it does. Young, listen, I don't know enough about Facebook gaming to tell you. I will say this though, the timing. My God, the timing. I don't know if you two are aware, but not 48 hours, actually not 24 hours, my bad, not 24 hours before this, did someone come out as a person who used to work at Mixer and said,
I got the tweet up because I wanted to illustrate that too.
We need to talk about this racism and the way that you treat people who work for you. And then they turned around and said, how about we do you one better? So instead of just shitting on people because of their skin color, we're just going to shit on everybody laterally. Now, that being said, right, to be clear, this is a timing thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This wasn't caused by this, but this is just icing on the cake. Like, as a step back from streaming, we need to talk about how in the tech industry, people just work on at like the higher levels, trying to get the company to a valuation that they can just sell things for, and they have little to any incentive in the way that the market is constructed around tech to build things that last, because then you have to deal with consequences. Imagine you building a tech company and you just sitting here months in advance and not communicating, by the way, sitting there months in advance knowing that you were going to do this and choosing for a month not to inform anybody of anything. And then on top of that, when someone just goes, "Hey, y'all have a whole problem in the way that y'all treat an entire grouping of people," just being like, "Well, I mean, it doesn't matter because we were going to sell it anyway." Yeah, and then you just sell it the next day. You literally decide to sell the company like 11 the next day.
11 hours have passed.
Here's my little thing on that. Cause
go ahead and just sprinkle it on there.
Yeah, I got a little bit. Let me just sprinkle that on there. Okay, here's what happens. Mixer is blind. Mixer, like Microsoft. I'm just gonna say Microsoft. Microsoft, Facebook. They go. Facebook makes an offer for Mixer. You know, for the technology, the whole thing locks down, strips all the good juicy, tender bits of the platform, right? So Mixer says, okay, they made the offer. You know, they're working out the whole deals. A lot of these times, these offers and these things, they take months. They take months to get through because you gotta get your prices right. Then you gotta let your peoples know. Then you gotta let the shareholders know. My shareholders gotta talk to your shareholders. You know,
And they all got to do lunch.
and they all gotta do lunch. They all gotta do lunch, and they get everybody around the company, and then they talk to the employees, and then the employees talk to them, and then there's usually an exit strategy. There's usually an exit package, and they can usually get people out in 3 months. 3 months, give people a chance to, like, if they want to stay on the platform, 90 days. But because all this shit happened, but because Mixer basically had all these racial allegations, they were like, well, it probably would be best if we just folded it now before the real big stuff happens, because we rather be assholes than racist. So we decided to be assholes, and they just decided, well, instead of trying to, like, you know, give everybody a lovely, you know, nice swan song loving transition, they just decided to just say, well, fuck it, 30 days notice. Literally, they gave everybody 30 days notice because it happened on the 22nd, and now it's going to be done by July the 22nd. So it's 30 days from now. They give you 30 days from now to everybody make their own little arrangements and figure out where they need to go and whatnot. And what was really wild to me is the fact that they're not even really giving people check payouts. Everybody who has money from the Ember program, they're gonna get all their stuff on, like, gift cards.
Wait, did you say a gift card?
Exactly. Yes. I talked to my. Yeah.
So you didn't tell these people didn't slide up in here and say, "Let me give you store credit."
No. Yeah. They did
So
that.
how do you get $30 million in Microsoft? Was it Microsoft points? What do they got now? What do they call it? Microsoft points now? Is that what it do?
I know Ninja ain't getting no $30 million gift card.
What about 10 million?
Shroud ain't getting it either.
What?
Mm-hmm.
So you mean the two people who signed
Major was just taken aback by this statement.
What?
Yeah, exactly. Gift cards, and I'm like, I was talking with one of my Mixer homies, and they were like, they don't have it. They basically, it's like, oh, we have, you know, imagine like you making like a couple $100 in Ember, and you thinking about, man, okay, well, they're just gonna cash this out. They're just gonna cash this out. No, they're gonna cash this out in a gift card. For what? For Xbox? What if you don't got Xbox?
You can get that Game Pass Ultimate.
Not even that. Not even that. Not even. Like, that should be a free. You should give me my money and Game Pass for a year. You know, just to say we fucked up. Oh well, we should have been less racist, and we shouldn't have sold the company to Facebook. My bad. We sorry. You know, that's what really on top of that pees me off. They give people a 60. I was on that day. I went to Mixer, and I literally seen on the front page there was a guy who was playing Minecraft, and he had in big bold white letters, twitch.tv/that guy. And it was like, and you go down and you like, Mixer sucks, Mixer betrayed us, Mixer. And it's like literally seeing a literal, it's like seeing like a everything must go sale almost. It's like everybody must go sale. And it really hurts me in my heart. And then the last like twist of the knife is gift cards. Gift fucking cards.
I still think what baffles me about this. Also, one, shout out to Vince Carter officially retiring after 22 years. Anywho, thanks Twitter. It baffles me that Ninja and Shroud, having not been on that platform for a year, could opt out. It's like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm not going to Facebook. Pay me my money. Between them over to $40 million to do just barely a year streaming, and then they're going to go back to Twitch.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Just
hold on. And I hate that I'm even giving a page view right now. But I want to see. I want to see
Microsoft points being used to buy Excel and PowerPoint keys.
Yeah. Unless you're gonna try to flip those, unless you're trying to flip those on G2A, it's not really gonna help you that much.
Well, he came back. 1.3. Oh no, that was last year. Never mind. So he hasn't come back. I think he still has some time for a Mixer, but
that's just the placeholder one.
Oh, okay.
That's like everybody who moved. That's like everybody who had started on Mixer. They pretty much had a Twitch account. They had a Twitch account with them.
His account never left. His account never left. Yeah. His check went away. His partner check went away. But that account, that page never left.
You know what I did?
I learned that this week. That page had always been there. But they just took his partner status away. Which was very petty. It was.
Yeah.
I would have felt better if they just deleted the page. Like, nope. Yeah. You start over from the beginning now. Granted, it would probably take them no time, but
yeah, no time.
40 million, like just.
That's like.
That's why everybody getting their Microsoft cards.
That's why everybody getting Microsoft cards because they pay that. Now imagine that somebody else getting their money. And you basically getting like, this is what Sid says, store credit. You getting store credit, and you not, and you can't even pick which one you want. Like, well, let me get an Amazon points or whatever.
Before we go any further, and I don't remember, did we actually even go into what Millie was talking about?
Towards Mixer?
Yeah. Did we actually even go into that?
I think it was a comment. There was a comment from one of the higher ups, and it was like one of them was like
the partners were slaves.
Yeah, partners were slaves.
Like the partners were her slaves.
And then
when Millie bought it to the manager's attention, it was like, "Oh, Millie, you're being sensitive. You know it was a joke.
It was a joke.
You know I'm just playing."
Which is like. You don't joke about slavery.
No.
No one finds slavery funny.
Well,
some do.
Not black folk.
Not black folks.
Even then, not all skin folk, kinfolk.
Yeah, but I mean, it was like, and then you start seeing you start hearing and seeing these rumblings, and then it was like, well, I guess it's time to really truly accelerate that offer plan that we was gonna do.
It's just calling Facebook, like, yo, like, y'all really famous for problematic shit over there at Menlo Park. Y'all want to take that? Oh, y'all got no problem with that? Oh, y'all need the revenue because the North Face is leaving? Oh, you think Verizon is definitely leaving your platform now? Oh, yeah. Oh, so you really need this? Okay, you know what? All right, guys, we're closing Mixer. We're moving over to Facebook. Thank you so much. Here, Ninja Shroud, here's your checks. Fuck you, bitches. Buy Microsoft Excel.
Yep. Yeah. Pretty much. Xbox Series X coming out. Holiday 2020. What's up? Pew, 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 pew. We're. Oh boy. I wonder how many.
It's like, did Mixer even read the room on that one? It's like, maybe that's not a good time to rock a boat, but
nah, it was that. Get the money and run.
They probably like, no, looks like Twitch has got their hands full now. We're gonna just drop this here and enjoy the Apple keynote.
It's the Nightfall protocol. It's like, we out. Oh, you found out I'm Batman? Wayne Manor goes up. It's like, well, I'm Batman. Well, you find out I'm Batman. I can't be Batman. I guess wanted to do the beer. Pew. Oh well.
Hope y'all like them arm backs.
one thing it might be helpful to say here is that you have the importance of some level of focus when we're dealing with these. So something I think it's important to note about these is that all of these reports of like just these egregious abuses are usually with people with either some level of power, some level of either influence, and just go unchecked, right? Mm-hmm. So when we're talking about these companies, because I mean, the amount of things that have come out this week, right? When we're dealing with these, understand that there are a lot of people who were caught in the crossfire too. Yeah. There's a lot of anger behind this. There's a lot of surprise behind this. There is a lot, and I mean a lot, of grieving. There are people who have had situations come up where they found out that someone, not even someone that necessarily did something to them, but did something to someone else. And it's like, you know, this believing survivors thing isn't like just a cool catchphrase to say. It's a real thing. Right. And when someone that you believe to be good or to be a friend or to be closer to you, almost like family, gets outed in a way like this, it takes a lot from you. And it takes a lot. So if you're in those circles where you are where you like people trust you to talk to them, you know, try to be there for them. And also, like, don't come for. There are people who are caught in the crossfire who just don't need to be come for. Like, I understand that some of y'all are just like burn these like, and I get it, I do. That y'all are like burn these companies to the ground and these terrible employees and stuff like that. But there are people who are working there and have been working there tirelessly, trying to change anything, and have not been able to get the power, the influence to do so, or get the ear of the right person, or to get enough people to listen to them. And now with all this external pressure, maybe they're in a position to do so, but it's not a thing that, you know, like, everybody could be doing better at paying attention to these things, but it's not like there are just a whole bunch of people who did absolutely nothing. What you have are a bunch of people who tried to be heard and were not listened to, and the people who were in positions to do something with the influence that they had didn't do anything.
Right. It's it's their leadership that has failed them. It's that not the people that work for them.
You have to keep both of those things in mind. I better not see y'all out here like laughing at people who just ended up losing their jobs at Mixer when they're trying to do all this behind all this nonsense, right? Please don't. That's not helpful.
Even from an IT standpoint, it's like keeping this shit up and running is not. It's not an easy thing to do. So for all of a sudden, like, oh wait, you mean that thing I applied to the Microsoft Azure platform? You know, we're just deleting it tomorrow. Oh fuck that! You mean that? You mean to tell me I walked in this data center in the middle of damn COVID to push this update because I couldn't do this remotely, and now we're gone?
Right.
Like,
and it's like the platform just got features added to the platform that it doesn't matter anymore. Like, they just got clips to all users, and then it was like, oh nope, gone. Like imagine the leadership of your company being so egregious that they just say, oh no, we're just closing down, and it affects everybody down. Everybody up there that said the problematic stuff got the best pretty much whoever got their money in first, get their money in, get their money out first, and everybody else got to scramble for the crumbs, for the bones, you know, and for the little gristle. And I'm like, it hurts because this is how it always does. Companies go under, the leadership and management get their money. Everybody else got to fight for the crap. I got to sue y'all to get my money, and everybody's suffering right now. And it's like all because of the actions of a chosen few. And we could be talking about Mixer, we could be talking about Mixer, we could be talking about Enron. It doesn't matter. It happens everywhere. It happens every time. Bad people make bad decisions on bad things, and everybody that works in lower management under gets screwed. The person that made that comment, they're gonna be fine. Ninja, Shroud, Ewok, Goliathan, whatever his name is, they're gonna be fine. Everybody else is screwed, and it's sad because of the mix and the partners and my homie and whoever else to stream on Mixer is screwed, and they have to start, and they gotta start over. They were big partners and had thousands of people on Mixer. Now they gotta come to Twitch to basically start over, and they hope their Mixer crew comes with them, and the Mixer mods, and it's hard on a platform that's been known as problematic. We found out Mixer was problematic. Now we gotta go on a platform to reinvent ourselves on a platform that is problematic. And they're like, spot abuse. That doesn't even matter.
I think that's so difficult.
It's crazy.
That's so difficult in the middle of all of that, as complicated as it is. That when people went over to that platform originally, it was like, yo, Twitch is kind of problematic, but they know that they're in a stable spot where they don't have to. There's no other emerging platform that has the potential to really, shake them up. So when Mixer came out, and their largest streamers started leaving them and moving over to that platform and bringing their audience and all this other stuff with them, one of the big things behind that was the hope that, this external pressure, having some real competition, is probably going to put Twitch in at least in a spot where they have to care a little bit more about the people that they have on their platform. You have to understand that behind that platform disappearing, that hope is also gone for a lot of people. Because some of them that left this platform because it was problematic and tried to go to a platform that was less problematic, only to find out that it was twice problematic, and they have to come back here knowing that the problematic shit is still here. That's just, it's a whole thing.
It's like you leave home from a problematic household to make your way in a less but new place, and then you find yourself having to go back through no fault of your own to stay with the toxic people again in your hometown again, knowing that they haven't changed, knowing that they're just as aggressively aggravating as they usually are, knowing that nothing really changes, and then you have to build your community back in the midst of that, with the fear of the troll raids, with the fear of the trolls coming up, with the fear of the racist the racist usernames coming up. It sucks. So the best thing I can tell people, the best thing that I can do is that I can come and be a good person on this platform and say hey yo, we got you, we spot you, and we gon' I know it's rough, I know it's hard, I know this is a bad place, but if we get in here and we say, fuck this, and talk to people and be and let people know this is some bullshit, then I think we can get it changed though. Because we deserve better on this platform. Even if y'all not gonna give us better, we deserve better. That's my movement.
We're just gonna be, and it's, there's something to be said about just how, oh my melanated people, I love y'all so much. It's so exhausting. Because it's literally protests on literally every single thing you do. There's protests happening outside your house and downtown and in the middle of the store. You got a whole pandemic happening outside. You got this and the one spot that you go for your entertainment is hella problematic and all of this stuff is happening. Like,
yeah.
what day are we on this week?
It's Thursday.
Still Thursday.
Still Thursday.
It's Thursday.
Still Thursday.
So that should at least listen. If that tells you anything, Tuesday felt like Thursday, and I had my first sip of alcohol at 3:14 p.m. It was just.
I mean, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. That's what I'm. You just gotta get.
It was 5 o'clock somewhere off the coast of the Atlantic, but I mean, again, just it's a lot. So I want y'all to know.
I won't tell if you won't.
If you feel like your anxiety is spiking and that you're like more just out of it than usual or low on energy and all this other stuff, I want you to know y'all aren't just out here. Diogen, see, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Like, it's easy to feel like, am I just in my feelings with all of this stuff happening? Or is there some serious stuff going on? And I just want y'all to know, like, one, things that you're feeling and all of that behind this, if it's anxiety, anger, sadness, and grief, one, all of those feelings are valid. And two, you should be. Things are angering and exhausting. Like, it's like, I'm not throwing hands because I'm in the house.
Yeah.
Like, you understand, I haven't gone outside in like 2 weeks because I'm like, some of y'all are gonna come up here acting like the foolish from Florida, and I'm going to punch you when you do. Don't come over here.
Mm-hmm.
Don't come over here. Don't bring that bullshit over here.
And see,
keep that shit over there.
And see, for me, like it's that whole thing of like, well, I wish I knew what I could do and stuff like that. Like, especially, I got to a point where I was like, you know what? I had this one project that I wanted to do, something that people have been pushing me to do, and I finally did it. I just made a whole damn platform. It's like, nope, I'm tired of all this. I can't go to Mixer. YouTube is shitty. Twitch is shitty. No, it's not shitty. Majorshouse.com. Yeah, I just went ahead and made my own damn shit. So yeah, fuck all y'all. I'm done with this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm quite all right. I've got people came over, I got that shit working, and yeah. But unfortunately, like, yeah, people don't have that ability to do shit like that. It's a mess.
We are all independent contractors. That is exactly what we are.
Just made my own damn island. I'm just gonna call it Wakanda. How about that?
And this is I feel like the future of this is gonna lead to some really difficult conversations about one particular thing, which is, quite honestly, trying to figure out, like, if the move is to stay here or if the move is to finally just go, considering the quality content and just the pure talent that people have, the experiences that people have, like, is the next adventure the one that we build? Like, instead of waiting for people to do it for us because we can't for whatever reason, and it seems to be at that time. It just seems to be at that time. And this is more just an open question and a thought more than something that we even have to try to answer today, because I don't know what that even looks like. But, like, do we just finally go, this is enough of this, so we either wait for someone who builds a platform and looks out for us, or we build the platform and we build the moderation tools that people should have that do things like check usernames that you don't get N-word, blah, 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 1488 in the middle of chat sending you like 1 bit so that everybody has to see their name.
Mm-hmm. And
right?
IP bans.
Do we just take the tools that we have? Do we take the lessons that we've learned and go, we are going to build our own?
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. Like, that's been I remember when I first joined the Cookout, that was one of the because again, this shit isn't new. That was one of the conversations I had, and I was like, man, if only I had those resources, boy, it'd be really nice if I built that. And luckily, again, me being in contact with so many people and showing me the tools that were available. Like,
I have some feelings behind that too, but continue.
I know the answer to that. I know what that looks like.
I have some feelings behind that because all I can think about when I even asked that question is how long it took for us to have enough resources as a collective to imagine that possibility.
So, okay, I can give you a realistic answer for that.
Sure.
It doesn't take that long. It's just knowing that it was there. That's the whole thing. It wasn't so much collecting the resources. It was just knowing that it was there. Like somebody said, "Hey, this exists," and there's multiple versions of what I'm using. Like, it took no time. Now, granted, yes, I'm in a very unique position where it's like I can invest in myself to do that. And granted, yes, when I talk to people about it, I'm like, "Hey, I'm creating this. You're more than welcome to be here. Granted, this can't be Twitch, this can't be Mixer, this can't be YouTube. I am not backed by a huge company, Microsoft, Google, or Amazon. There's going to have to be investments in this, but this is what this looks like. Here is a platform."
Well, and that's the thing, right? When we're talking about this, I don't expect it to just be as large a platform as that. And this is the thing that it's like the resources and stuff. Imagine, right? You being like, we get the platform, we test some stuff out, we work on it, we have the conversations and stuff, you do whatever it is that you do to get the investors and stuff, and you try to find the right ones and all this other stuff. But it's things like, I can have that conversation now seeing what I've seen. I couldn't have had that conversation like 2 years ago or 4 years ago or like 6 years ago or something like that. And it's the way that the resources have to be even found in the first place, and the way that you do that versus, and it's not like I'm talking about anybody in particular who has rulership of the country at the whole moment or anything, but like there are some people who are born with parents who are just like, oh, it looks like you have even an idea that you're going to be completely mediocre at. Here's $1 million to try at that and then quit after a week. Like, the scales, they are very different.
Yeah, and I definitely understand what you're saying. That's like, again, from just my experience, it did not take very long. It was not difficult to do. But again, like, there is still that block of, all right, like, how can we support a community on top of it? Like, yes, I'm fortunate, like, it works for me. It can work for like 5 other friends, I guess. I don't know. Have not gotten that far. I literally launched it yesterday. But yeah, like, it becomes a conversation of like, all right, if this thing is real, this thing exists, and I want to share it and want to create that safe space, like, what does that other roadblock, what does that financial roadblock look like? Like, how can we get past that? And yeah, that's where that question of like, yeah, how long is it going to take?
Right.
How long is that going to take? It's like, yeah, the tech's there. It's just finding somebody to invest. I don't know why my computer decides it wants to sleep every 2 seconds. It's really annoying. But yeah, like it's that bit. It's that bit. And I guess I see what you're asking now.
Mm-hmm. But I always think to myself, like, how did Mixer start? Like, how did like places like Hitbox start? You know, like streaming always, like, things always start with a whole bunch of something, like a whole bunch of sites. Before YouTube became YouTube, there was Break, there was Ibram's World, there was Funny or Die, there was VO, there was like Venmo. No, not Venmo.
Vimeo.
Vimeo, right. So there were a whole bunch of like, and then there was YouTube. There were a lot of sites that were doing what is done, that were doing a lot of video hosting. And then a lot of that started to slim down, and then YouTube became the gold standard because it just, for whatever reason, it did. More people were posting on it, more people were doing it. So the option to start a platform is there, but just as you say, like, if it was money, if somebody had said today, like, like, Major, here's a blank check. You know, get the hosting, get the hosting, get the equipment, get the, basically get everything you need to make this to be like the new whatever. Even if it is like the new mixer. But it would be, even though it would still be it would still be the platform, and it would set the goal, and it would just be like what Mixer is, set the standard, be our own platform. But it just, like I say, it just takes somebody to say, here's some money, here's some things, make that happen. Because as we just have to, by you saying we just have to do it, and we just have to make it, we just have to do it and put it together. But it's just like the hard part is just, as you say, getting the funding, getting the money. We got the people. We have the thing. It's just, how do we host? How do we make money? How do we pay things?
For this in particular, though, it's not so much like, well, one is like, how do we pay bills? But it's also like, there's still an issue of manpower.
There's some.
I feel like.
There's a lot going on here.
I'm sorry. I feel that even if they're like, like, in order to build something for ourselves, it still has to be something that you're willing to work on, regardless. Now, I get, people should be paid for their work. And again, like, I am of an opinion, like, yeah, if somebody came and worked on my platform, like, I would love to compensate you, definitely. I'm not somebody's like, no, we're gonna work for free. But it's a whole thing of like, still like finding somebody to kind of believe in that idea, to still work on it. Because like, again, you look at any startup, you look at Twitch when they started up as Justin TV, you look at YouTube when they started up, you look at Vimeo, you look at all these other platforms, there were people just working to get it up and running.
Right.
Unfortunately, we still have that problem of, because again, like, especially for us, we're so used to working and not getting fairly compensated, to where it's like, if I legit came up to somebody and said, hey, I got this platform, like, Nginx, like, you might be able to help me with some of these issues. Python, you might be able to help me with some of these issues. Could you look at, well, I got to get paid. And I don't blame them for that.
Exactly.
Like, we got the shit kicked out of us so many times. It's like, you know what? Like, I'm afraid to ask people to help. Because, like, I want to pay them, because I know what it's like to sit there and put so much time and effort into something. And even for me, my own money, for it to just be like used and abused. I don't want to do that to anybody else. But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of things that have to happen in order for us to even be able to build that platform. Like, while one does exist, again, it's like a speck of dirt in the middle of the Atlantic. It's going to take a lot more to make this an island. But yeah, like, they make it like the people who are in charge, the people who hold all the cards, make it so difficult for us to sit here and thrive in any capacity. Even when we have the people around us who can help do this, because they done kicked them too, you ain't gonna ask them to help, because like, you don't want to look like that person who was abusing somebody else. It's hard. Like, I'm gonna continue working, but like, yeah, like, I hope that one day that if it's not me, that it's somebody else who can figure this out. Because honestly, it's not waiting. I mean, obviously for one person, it's not waiting. For one group of people, it's not waiting. It's building it themselves. And I'll be here for it. I'll be here to support it. Like, I don't know if we got to sit there and buy blackplanet.com and, just rebuild that. I don't know how I would go about doing that, but I thought about it. Thought about a lot of things. This month's been crazy. I almost thought about having a BioShock Infinite moment, where it's like, we put Tulsa in the clouds. They can't burn that if it's all in the cloud. I've had some weird thoughts, but I mean, they're grounded in some level of reality. But
right, listen, okay, I'm gonna tell you this right now about having weird thoughts or any of that. You don't need to add that disclaimer. All 8 seasons of Game of Thrones exist from people who didn't know how to write. If they can do that, you can do literally anything the fuck you want. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's for that message is for Linux and everybody else. Y'all managed to make someone gave you enough money to make 8 seasons of a show where you didn't read anything but the popular points of a book. And then you stopped caring about that after the 3rd season and like kept that rolling for another 5 years and then put out the most disappointing ending to a show we have ever seen and just went, well, we made our money, so if that's a thing they can do, you should be fine.
You know what? All right, I feel better now. All right, let's go.
Exactly.
Let's go. People are being
Game of Thrones.
Like, racism aside, just imagine what we're going to get paid because people are already getting paid like millions of dollars where they never have to work another day in their life for being kind of mediocre. Like, here's the spectrum of mediocre, and you're on like 2 out of 10 on mediocre.
I know.
I have to be at like 2 out of 10 in excellence just to apply for a job at a grocery store. I'm just saying, we're good.
I know a person who has been very supportive to me, who has been very supportive of me. She is a black woman. She is a black woman streamer. She is a Twitch partner. I know with it, and this is not favoritism because she's my founder. This is not a favoritism for anything, but I can say, and I don't like to deal with absolutes. You guys know this. I don't like to deal with absolutes. I don't say like she can. I literally feel like in my deep soul that she could whoop Ninja's ass in Fortnite. I know this. I have seen the dubs. I have seen the percentages. I know it could happen. And I'm just like literally just looking back and I'm just saying like just engaging, awesome, wholesome, wonderful person, a partner, better than Ninja. That's it. And I'm just like completely and utterly better than this person. And I'm like,
why is it because you know how to cut bread?
Yeah. That's woo, we come off spicy.
Listen, I honestly speaking, I don't have
bread.
To be fair, I really don't have anything to say about that. He went over here, was in his bag, secured the bag, and left. Like
I'm so glad he doesn't have to. I'm so glad he doesn't have to work a regular job because if he did, he would be fired because that is not how you cut bread. Don't work at a Panera, my guy.
Gentlemen.
Whew. Yes.
We've been at this for about an hour and a half.
we've pretty much done a podcast and we only did like two stories.
Only covered 2 stories.
I mean, them were some big juicy stories to be honest, but my lord, I see the tabs. Skim the surface.
What's free on Epic? I don't know. I don't even know. I haven't seen an Epic article about what's free on there. I guess I could pull up Epic Game Store and see. Because they would have announced it by now. It actually should be free by now, but I don't remember. Yeah, so let's see if we can get through the rest of the stuff here. The rest of the tech world, because I guess they're not in streaming, didn't even bat an eye to what was going on. There's been a viral social media post about phone disruptions spreading false information about iPhone's COVID-19 tracking. Apparently, like again, for those who have listened to this show, I was very excited about iOS 13.5 because it included the co-developed between Apple and Google's COVID-19 contact tracing API. Apparently, somebody does not know how to read patch notes, or just didn't load up a tech article. I don't know.
Nah, they're not gonna read patch notes and tech articles. They're just gonna spread bad information.
Well, they can come here again. Like literally, the thing I said at the end of the show is like, hey, maybe you just don't want to read the news articles, so we read it for you. So apparently this post has been going around. So did you know that when everyone was having because this I forgot, this combines the two issues I have right now: COVID-19 misinformation and network security misinformation. Because that was what we were supposed to talk about last week. I remember that because boy, I was hot. So did you know that when everyone was having phone disruptions earlier this week, they were adding COVID-19 trackers to our phones? If you have an Android phone, go under settings, then Google settings, and it's there. If you have an iPhone, go to settings, privacy, then health, it's there. Check it out. Sneaky. Yes, it is off at the moment, but under the circumstances, who knows if they will not turn it on automatically or make it so that you have to, or your phone won't work properly. Call me suspicious. So again, two things here. About a month ago, Apple released iOS 13.5, which included the contact tracing API, co-developed by Apple and Google, along with, and again, the one thing I was really excited about the update for is the ability to wear a face mask and try to use Face ID, and it will quit sooner than expected, so you can not waste your time with Face ID. That was the one big thing, but apparently this was also included. This was also included in the Android like the Google Play Services update, if I'm not mistaken, because that's where Google includes their APIs for Android. That way, all phones can get access to new Google APIs without having to do an OS update. This was all released on the same day, about a month ago. Last week, there was a DDoS attack, or for those who do not know, a distributed denial of service attack, which is when a whole bunch of computers, whether malicious or not, tends to go to one single point and it causes a network failure for that server or servers.
Right.
Now, saying that, last week there was no DDoS attack. There was no DDoS attack on Monday, July 15th. I remember that date because the screenshots that were going around kept saying July 14th, but everybody kept, it was saying that Sunday, but everybody kept saying it was that Monday. I literally generated the same screenshot, posted it in our podcast chat. It's like, that ain't real. This ain't real.
Like, okay. I was like, oh.
I scrolled around and saw worse actual DDoS attacks.
Right.
Followed up with somebody who knows what he's talking about. The co-CEO of Cloudflare, a company that literally protects against DDoS attacks. You know, the one person who would tell you, hey, that was a DDoS attack, but if you used our service, you wouldn't get one. You know, that guy, the guy who literally his money is being made by DDoS attacks, said there was not a DDoS attack.
Mm-hmm. You would know.
There were so many people on Twitter that day, who, mind you, were not InfoSec personnel, who were not network engineers, who knew not one damn thing about a computer, and probably if they were trying to stream Fortnite, wouldn't know how to fucking fix it. Calling this a DDoS attack, which, again, if you really learn it, because like the Cloudflare CEO had explained it, if you went to Down Detector that day, it said that a lot of services were down.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because everybody was tweeting the question, hey, is this down? And Down Detector scrapes Twitter. So if they see T-Mobile down, which it was, okay. But they see, is AT&T down? Oh, AT&T's down. Everybody's tweeting about AT&T being down. It's Verizon down. Oh, Verizon must be down. It's Sprint down. Sprint's down now, according to Down Detector, but not to those service providers.
And then when Twitch actually does go down, then it's like, wait.
Yeah, and that was like Twitch went down for a completely different reason.
Right. It was just like, it was literally like, wait, huh? And barely a whisper.
Which kind of gave me pause because like, oh man, is it related? But then again, when Kev, I think you brought it to my attention, I was like, nope, that's not it. Nope, Twitch was on its own bullshit that day.
Yeah, because I was streaming on Twitch that day when it was like quote unquote down, and it was just like it was acting screwy on its own thing,
Okay,
But then it was
I think I know what day you were talking about, because at different points of the day, and the thing is, Twitch knew it was an issue too, where you went in and like the chat panel didn't load, or like the part where the video didn't load, or the bottom of the homepage didn't load, or the whole page was blank, or only the chat would appear on the screen, and it's kind of like, Twitch, what is happening? Then you had some people who were just like 2,000 errors all day or 3,000 errors all day, and then some people who were just like, it's fine over here, we have no issues. I don't know what's going on.
Like, I was streaming on it, and it was just like, as I was ending, it was starting to fuck up, and it was like, I'm literally like, I can't host anybody, I don't see who's on, but I'm still on, but I can't host anybody because I can't see who's on. And I typed somebody in, and it's like, oh, nobody's streaming. Nobody's streaming? Like, nobody? Like, nobody? Like, it was like somebody had just, like, unplugged the stream switch and was like, nope. And so I just feel like, all right, guys, I guess I'm just going to have to cut off. Like, but then when I was like, I seen like the DOS attack. Yeah, and then I seen like the DOS attack. I was like, is it a DOS attack? Talk to Marcus. I said, man, I think it's a DOS attack. And Marcus was like, no. And I was like, okay,
just shut it down.
Right.
Shut it down.
And it was like, okay, you're right. And that was the end of that. Like, I didn't retweet nothing. I didn't hit a whole bunch of things. I just went to Marcus and I was like, Marcus, DDoS? And Marcus was like, no. Information. And I was like, okay, here's all the receipts. Okay. All right. So from now on, before I have any issues, I feel like there could be something jump off. I'm gonna talk to Marcus first.
And I will admit,
talk to Major.
And I will admit, if I don't know anything, was like, dude, nothing was breaking.
You were like, it's not broken.
Like, I don't know. They talk about Verizon. Like, man, I was on my phone early. Well, no, that was the one thing I did notice because nobody ever calls or texts me. But
right.
Like,
right.
I have AT&T in my house. We were streaming all day today. No issues. Now, granted, at 2 o'clock at night, maybe my internet will cut out in the middle of a Discord call. But, hey, that's 2 in the morning when I should probably be asleep. But, yeah.
Right.
The boogeyman, which is just outside, or 2020 right now, is keeping me up. So, I need somebody to talk to.
I say,
but, yeah, like, that really that got me, but that's not the point of this article. That was last week.
That was the last week conversation, yeah.
This week, it's just dumbass motherfuckers who don't know how to read their patch notes.
Right. Read the patch notes.
This was so bad that when I shared this on Instagram told me, like, yeah, we're going to have to put a disclaimer on there. It's like, please do. Because dumb motherfuckers need to read something nowadays.
Yeah. I'm like, that should be added to the already growing commandments that we have that we talk about. We talk about two-factor. We talk about forums at forums.cookout.org. We talk about update everything. The next thing should be added is read the damn patch notes. Read them damn patch notes. It'll save your life.
I mean, because it's not like I don't put update information in any of these shows. It's not like they're not being posted anywhere.
Yep.
Or that people may just know what the hell they're talking about.
And while we're in the middle of talking about things that you should be doing in addition to read your patch notes, this is your friendly every single podcast reminder: do your two-factor shit.
Two-factor. Update. Use update managers. Use a VPN.
Two-factor. Use it.
Man, kid, if you don't get out of here.
No, flexing the VPN. I see you. VPN
Wait, no,
flex.
that was Authy. That was my two-factor.
Yeah, you flexed the two-factor.
I flexed that two-factor. I need to get up on that VPN though.
Yeah, same.
I need to get on the VPN. All right, moving on. Of course, Juneteenth was also a topic for last week too.
I remember
Snapchat apologizes for Juneteenth filter mistake, won't share diversity data. Apparently, Snapchat created a filter that asks for black folks to smile to get the filter for Juneteenth.
To break chains and use.
You okay there, Sin?
Son, you good?
I don't know what I plead the fifth. I've said everything I'm gonna say today.
It's like,
And then they won't release diversity data because they know it's gonna look bad. So
Wait, what happened?
they just Snapchat. They're not gonna release. They're not gonna release their diversity data. The gap follows shortly after Snap CEO Evan Spiegel refused to release diversity data for the company. Snap CEO Evan Spiegel said at an employee all-hands meeting on Tuesday that the company would continue to keep its diversity reports private, according to notes from the meeting obtained by Business Insider and confirmed by current employees. At the meeting, Spiegel said,
Let me tell y'all something.
Uh-oh.
See, here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
You don't have to make the records. You don't have to make the records public because your company photos and your leadership stuff probably already is.
Wow.
That's all we got to say about that. Okay? So we can tell by your policy. Like, the impact that you have in the world, we know when y'all haven't hired women and people of color. We know because of the wild stuff that y'all post on your social media, but we're not going to talk about that.
nah, we're not gonna talk about that.
You literally could not say, hey, we have black people, like, we literally have black people in leadership and all these other things. This shouldn't be hard. Like, but, you know, if we're diverse, we're just going to, we don't see a need to make a statement on that.
So he goes for, so the articles continues, Spiegel told employees that the company's diversity numbers were in line with those at other tech companies. Why you got to compare? But, you know, whatever. Which have long skewed white and male. His comments come just days after former employees shared accusations on Twitter of racism that they experienced and witnessed while working at Snapchat. Yes, Gemini. None. Just no diversity. Yeah. I mean,
Diversity.
Or, you know.
Just white guys.
Yeah. So we're gonna chalk that up to not surprised.
No, never surprised.
Okay, moving on.
Hold on. I believe this is where we pull up the banner that says on a list of things, item number 159,632, about which we are disappointed, but not surprised.
Long scroll.
We are disappointed,
Unfurled.
but we are not surprised. That should be sold on the pillow, my friend. That should be in my godmama's like parlor right there, like a knit thing. We are disappointed, but we are not surprised.
Yeah, can I get that in a cross stitch? It's a like home sweet home.
Yeah.
It just says disappointed but not surprised.
Can I get that in like an inspirational style, like 80s like poster? Slapped upon the wall with like clouds and kittens and whatever else. I'm gonna need that. We are disappointed, but we are not surprised.
Man, that sounds really inspirational.
Put that on the shirt, please. I'm gonna need that.
Yeah, we really need to talk to Cookout Marketing, man. We got so many ideas.
You got to write that down.
Okay.
Where my pad? I'm gonna write that down. Hold up.
Okay, so this at least brings joy to me. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but talking about new Apple products and new Apple software actually does make me feel happy. This was
my phone just said I don't have enough room to receive the update that has just come from Apple, so I'm gonna have to delete half of these videos I took while I was on vacation.
Oh my goodness. So yes, Apple did have their WWDC 2020 keynote on Monday while stream Twitter exploded. Which really sucked because it was one section I wanted to hear about, but couldn't focus because, man, Microsoft had to go steal the show.
We've decided to get away from flat design yet again and go back to skeuomorphic stuff.
I don't get the problem with that. I don't. I'm just looking at. I don't. As long as
you don't get the problem with what?
The whole flat versus skeuomorphism, and I didn't even know that's what everybody was complaining about. Now that it's okay, now I get some of it, but does the icon look like the thing that I want? Yes, okay, I'm just gonna click it. I don't get it. I don't get the issue, but I mean, apparently it's.
There are some people who would just rather be mad. That's all there is to it, really. There are just some people who are just kind of like.
I was like, I don't care. It's whatever. Like, does it open the message app? Yes. Cool. I passed this point. I'm just at the not surprised. So yes, the big news is Apple ditches Intel for ARM-based processors. I got this.
Yeah. Proverbs 3 and 5. That's the short thing.
No, you didn't.
Yep.
I got this.
Oh, yep. Get out of here.
So yeah, the news coming out of WWDC this week is that Apple ditches Intel for its own ARM-based chips. Apparently, Intel has really pissed off Apple enough to where Apple's like, you know what? We make our own chips for our phones, our watches, and our iPads. We don't need you anymore, Intel. We're making our own shit now. So everything is completely in-house again.
Yeah.
Again, remembering... I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. Well, Intel's always pissing people off.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's just another day in the neighborhood of Intel. But
on that list of oh look, something new. Oh wait,
no, we've been here before.
No, we've been there.
So yeah, like this is coming from like Apple going from PowerPC to Intel, and now they're going from Intel back to their own silicon again. This should at least make development between platforms for just devs a lot easier because it should just work everywhere. It's the same kind of SoC for iPhones, iPads, MacBooks now, or even their PCs as well. They're saying that their first ARM-based product will be available at the end of 2020, and it's going to take about a full 2 years before the whole lineup is Apple Silicon. And apparently, I heard they mentioned Linux 3 times, but I missed all of that because Microsoft and Mixer imploded. So I'm really bummed about that because I really wanted to know what they were talking about Linux about. In other big news, of course, you can have new silicon without new software. Mac OS Big Sur is the next big operating system. They are finally moving off of Mac OS 10. This is Mac OS 11, the next big feature update, which apparently brings all the icons that everybody hates. Which, again, I don't get it, but sure. With this update, they were talking about the Safari stuff, and I kind of want to switch to Safari now. I don't know why. I just really want to. Yes, Big Sur. I don't know. They name things after California things. I don't know what. I don't know what Sur is. It sounds like a wave. I don't know.
It's like a area. Hold on, let me Google it.
Yeah, I don't know what Big Sur is, but they've been on this whole thing of naming things after California things.
Big Sur.
Yeah, it's a Cali thing. After they moved from cats, they've been kind of naming their OSs after like mountain ranges.
It says Big Sur is a rugged mountainous section of the Central Coast. Let's see, a national treasure that demands extraordinary procedures to protect it from development, and one of the most beautiful coastlines anywhere in the world. An isolated stretch of road, mythic in reputation. The stunning views, the redwood forest, hiking, beaches, and other recreational opportunities have made Big Sur a popular destination for about 7 million people who live within a day's drive and visitors from across the world.
Man, what travel center website did you pull up?
I love what Diogen said.
We're all going to Big Sur. We're all just going to Big Sur now. We're just going to buy our MacBooks and go to Big Sur. Let's go. So yeah, Big Sur isn't out. It should be out later on this year. iOS 14 is becoming Android.
Yep.
We're almost there, and quite frankly, I am so excited because we get widgets now. Let's see. They also got some more messaging stuff that's going to be updated in there as well. What else? There's an app drawer. Because they got app drawers, all that stuff. It's a thing. But yeah, iOS 14 now has widgets. Let's see. Yeah, revamp messages, new translate app that's being built in, so you can have conversational translation, translations. WatchOS 7 is coming out. Apparently, we can kind of have more customization with your watch faces, but I'm not sure if this is on our list of things to do. I know it's not tech related, but because of the current pandemic, one thing I think, Kev, you mention this quite often. It's literally in your Twitter name. Wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
One of the big updates being added to WatchOS 7 is the ability for it to detect through machine learning if you are washing your hands, and will count to 20 seconds for you.
Yo.
Oh Lord. Here we go.
Here we go. You know what? Listen, we're going to talk about things that are not difficult and for which you don't need to use your phone, because they literally had music for this stuff for you to learn how to do this stuff too in 3rd grade. Please hold for a brief demonstration. My God.
Wash your hands, get them nice and clean. Wash them on top, wash them below, and fingers.
Now I'm pretty sure this is not unfamiliar to the people who are in this stream, but allow me to introduce you to soap. This particular one right here is foaming soap. It is honey and oatmeal. If I take this and apply just a squirt right there, right? We're just gonna go ahead and give that 2 for good measure, right? Now, I know some of y'all can count to 20 because all of y'all are old enough to make paychecks that are more than that number. Let's go ahead and do that. Count to the number of days that you get paid. Count to the number of times that you have to pay rent. Count the number of times or the number of seconds with a stoplight, right? Any of that.
The chorus of Prince's Raspberry Beret is like over 20 seconds. That's what I do.
The amount of time it took for me to make this rant was 20 seconds. Now I'm going to go to the bathroom right over here, and I'm going to put it in hot water and wash the soap off. That's it. You don't need your phone for this. It's use soap. If you do this on a regular basis, you don't need an application for it.
For those who are listening to the audio version, Sin just literally washed his hands for 20 seconds.
He brought the soap out and he washed his hands in 20 seconds. And we both broke down things about like happy birthday twice. That's what they taught me when I worked the Food Line. Food Line alone too.
Literally sing the whole song up. If you're happy, you know it. Clap your hands, and by the time you get done, you can stop washing your hands and put them back under the water. There's no reason for this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Gemini, you're not wrong. For me, I'm just tired of singing "Happy Birthday." Now, it's not to say that I'm not staying in there and washing my hands for 20 seconds. Yeah, I'm just tired of singing "Happy Birthday." That's all this is.
That's why I do Raspberry Beret. That's what I do. I do Raspberry Beret.
Listen, any song by a black person in the first chorus could probably take you through this hand washing routine. Just wash your damn hands.
I'm sorry that Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Sing the chorus to Rapture while you're singing Anita Baker, and then go back to the bathroom and wash your hands.
All he left me was alone. And then, bam! You be jammed. You forgot and you got clean hands.
No, you forgot you were washing your hands. You should sit there singing.
Papa was a Rolling Stone. Yeah, killing it.
Who is out here so unfamiliar with being able to wash your hands that someone has to explain? Here's a brief tutorial. Whomst, where are you?
So I don't
want to. Probably the same people that we had to tell wash your legs last year. There's no reason for this. Y'all built a whole application and still haven't taken a shower.
I don't want to upset you, but I think it's Cohen. I can't remember which faucet maker. It's either Cohen or Delta. One of them, they have smart sinks, which in and of itself seems like a very dumb thing to have, but they have that. There's a smart sink, a smart faucet that will count the 20 for you.
Yep.
So you can wash your hands at the smart sink.
Yep. I'm seeing things.
I can vouch for this person. They good.
Mm-hmm. I've seen one where it was like they went and be like, Alexa, pour out a cup of water, and they be like, and then as soon as the cup hit, the future.
I think the link may be being blocked somewhere else.
Okay. DM send for the link.
Oh God. Oh God, no. Not hey, call me right quick so I can remember to wash my hands. I can't.
All right, but in all seriousness, the actual big update with WatchOS 7 was the fact that they are now including sleep tracking with it. It's now built into the watch, as opposed to you having to use a third-party app for that. So, but yeah, iPadOS 14 is getting pretty much all the updates as iOS 14, except you get Scribble now, which means you can write into anywhere, and it will transcribe your handwriting into text. So now, if you have an Apple Pencil, you want to surf the web, you can actually write the website you want to go to, like forums.thecookout.org, and it will actually put that in text into the browser, and you can just go there. Mm-hmm. They've also improved search, so there's that.
Yep. Yeah, and then you can also write into Google how to two-factor all of your things. You can do that. You can write that in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, AirPods Pro getting spatial audio. That's the thing. And so privacy and nutrition labels, which was weird. They are going in, like with iOS 14, they're going to have developers spell out specifically what their apps are wanting or wanting to know about you or what they're collecting from you. And they compared it to nutrition labels. Like you wouldn't buy, some people will not buy products without knowing what's actually in the products. So they're taking that same approach to data privacy within their apps. Some Apple TV updates. This is another, so Clips. This is another thing that kind of came from Android. I remember this was the thing they were talking about before I left for iOS. But apparently you do not need to download full apps. If you go to a store or somebody sends you something and you need to do something within an app, but you don't have it downloaded, developers can create these small little subsections of the app. That way you can easily pull it up, do whatever you need to do within that small subsection, and complete whatever it is, and then not have to worry about downloading the full app to your phone.
Okay, see, now that's cool. Because there have been times where I'm at the grocery store and I'm have to use a particular app to get something, and I'm I really don't want to use this whole app. I just want to look at the weekly specials and do my coupons, and then that's it. I don't want to have a full app on my phone to do that one thing. I just want to be able to be oh, here's my Kroger Plus thing, done, and that's it.
Yeah, I can see this and I think they actually one of the things they demonstrated was those bikes or those little scooters. Instead of having to download the app, you can actually just scan it right there. It'll download whatever part of the app you need to pay for the scooter, and then just give you access to the scooter after that. So
right, I dig that. I kind of dig that.
Also, one thing, it was a big thing I know that was being talked about prior to WWDC. A lot of these were, but this one was one of the big ones. Car key. For a lot of people, they have new cars. I know I have one to where my car will actually kind of unlock over proximity. I know people with Teslas, they've got that same thing too. That way I can always keep my keys in my pocket and will never have to lose them unless I set them in the car. And then that's all. It's a thing. There's another set of issues I now have to worry about. But with this feature, your phone now becomes the key to your car. You can tap the phone on the door, it will unlock the door. You set it in the car, it'll turn on the car or allow you to be able to turn on the car. You can even share keys through the Apple Wallet to somebody else to say, to kind of give people even partial access to the car. So yeah, car key. And apparently I saw somewhere too that CarPlay is getting wallpaper, so I'm pretty happy about that. But again, small little insignificant things that are happening. Of course, for iOS 14, iPad OS 14, Mac OS 11, the devices that they're going to be able to support, wide ranging, so you don't have to worry about it. Yes, Sin. It's just a smile, and like I'm afraid something's going to happen. Oh. Okay. I now understand what that smile is for.
You do realize we have to download that now, right?
Yes, I am acutely aware
Okay,
of that.
so just so we're clear.
Did you if somebody can place that in the Discord, that'd be very, very great. Put it under those highlights. Would love to actually have the show on a highlight video one day.
Oh yeah.
In more security news, I think actually, yep. We're going to end on 2 security stories. Indiana court rules suspect can't be forced to unlock an iPhone, rejects foregone conclusion argument. The Indiana Supreme Court has ruled that a suspect cannot be forced to unlock her iPhone using her passcode, rejecting a legal argument known as foregone conclusion. While the argument used against her does have legal precedent, the use of it to compel disclosure of a passcode does seem absurd. The EFF filed a brief in support of the suspect and explains the argument made by the police. It says, courts in compelled decryption cases have struggled with Fisher v. United States, a 1976 U.S. Supreme Court case that introduced the concept of a foregone conclusion. Fisher involved in a subpoena for an individual's tax documents where the government could demonstrate that it already knew all of the information it would otherwise learn from a response to the subpoena. In other words, it was a foregone conclusion that the specific document the government sought existed, were authentic, and belonged to the individual. Although the Supreme Court has never, again, relied on this foregone conclusion rationale, the government has built it into a full-blown doctrine. State and federal prosecutors have invoked it in nearly every forced decryption case to date. In CO? I don't know what CO is. Is that the city they were in? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what CO is. The state argued that all that compelling the defendant to unlock her phone would reveal is that she knows her own passcode, which would be a foregone conclusion once it has proven that the phone belongs to her. So essentially, it wasn't so they can get into the phone. They just wanted to prove that the phone was actually hers.
Right.
Which would really suck if they just put your phone in your face. But yeah. So at this win for your privacy, they cannot say like, okay, we know it's your phone. Put the PIN code in.
I'm trying to figure out how I feel about that, but we'll get to that later.
Well, I mean, why we get to later? We're here.
Just because I'm thinking about how was it like? Are you reading the thing about DuckDuckGo and the way that they got that low key credit on the back of that privacy note?
No,
from I think their most recent Apple update.
I remember hearing something about it. I know for me, the DuckDuckGo stuff I was hearing was people were just like, Apple should just buy DuckDuckGo. Which, again, I think that's actually a pretty good idea. I would not mind that at all. But no, I didn't. Do you have it? We can take a look at it.
They did. Was it Apple Maps or? Yup. So they did a thing where where DuckDuckGo uses Apple Maps for searches.
Oh.
I think that was the thing. Was that the thing? No, it wasn't. I can't remember what that was. I need to go find that screenshot later. That was an interesting thing. Interesting bit of information in privacy tech.
Yeah. So it's almost at a point to where, like, I know there have been rumblings that Apple should purchase DuckDuckGo, and I would not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Because, I mean, it seems like they both kind of care about the user privacy. Now, again, like that, it remains to be seen. But, I mean, they're the biggest talkers about it. But yeah, so cops can't ask you to put in your password on the phone they think is yours. Even if it has your name on it. It has your picture on the screen, on the wallpaper. They think it's your phone. You still don't have to put your phone. You still don't have to put your passcode in it. Know your rights.
Thanks.
This saddens me. Senators once more try to ban end-to-end encryption because they still don't understand it. A group of Republican senators are making yet another attempt to ban end-to-end encryption in messaging services, which would make illegal Apple's messages and FaceTime services, as well as a wide range of other message apps like WhatsApp, Signal, and Telegram. Of course, the reasoning behind it, this, according to the three senators who have proposed the Lawful Access to Encrypt Data Act, so I guess the LEAD Act. Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Lindsey Graham and U.S. Senators Tom Cotton, Marsha Blackburn, all Republicans, by the way, in the South, today introduced the Lawful Access to Encrypted Data Act, a bill to bolster national security interests and better protect communities across the country by ending the use of warrant-proof encrypted technology by terrorists and other bad actors to conceal illicit behavior. Terrorists and criminals routinely use technology, whether smartphones, apps, or others, mean to coordinate, communicate their daily act. Oh, that's not what I meant to hit. Experienced numerous terrorism cases and serious criminal activity where vital information could not be accessed even after a court order was issued. Unfortunately, tech companies...
I can't answer that on your iPad, but you can find it in the Activity app on your iPhone or Apple Watch.
Thanks, Siri. Unfortunately, tech companies have refused to honor these court orders and assist law enforcement in their investigations.
Go ahead.
Stop! Shut up! Stop listening to me!
I heard that, but I don't know if they did.
Oh, I didn't mute it. I definitely shouted that out. My position is clear. After law enforcement obtains the necessary court authorizations, they should be able to retrieve information to assist in their investigations, said Senator Lindsey Graham. And to that, I'm going to say, fuck all the
I'm just looking at this and going, are we... You know, it's one of those things where you're just like, are you sure?
They don't want
One
that.
step forward, 500 steps back, plus a draw forward, plus a draw two. It's so much.
Like, they don't want this. I don't understand why they... Because they're the ones who are doing so much shady shit in the dark. Like, they don't understand that the reason why this is in place is that people don't hack our shit.
You know what?
I'm sorry, let's get this right here. Okay, we're good. Okay, we're good. All right. End-to-end encryption exists, so that way those bad actors don't hack our shit. I do not want my data to fall into the wrong hands. Again, it seems like, these senators, these people who want this to go away, don't listen to, what they tell us black folk. If you're not doing nothing wrong, why are you running?
About this whole thing where I'm curious about where the money trail is for this, because I'm damn near convinced that if this is the case, there's a money trail behind it. There has to be. So there's that.
I got the answers for you.
Oh, you got answers.
Oh, yes. It's the law enforcement.
Linux has whispered those sweet nothings of "I have the receipts" into the microphone. So, speak on those.
I mean, it's just
read the CVS receipt.
It's the fucking law enforcement. Point blank, period. Because the same people who are fighting against what is it? What's the thing? What's the thing called?
Accountability.
Well, there's that, yes, but the actual thing that protects the law enforcement from getting sued, for actually doing a terrible job. Yes, that. The same people who are fighting against that are also fighting to get the encryption taken away, so that way they can sit there and spy on American citizens and, arrest people who they don't like because, we have the receipts that you said something about us that we don't like and we want to silence that.
Oh, okay. Linux and chat and folks. The legal things aside, can I just explain something? Just real quick. They're breaking the law anyway. Like, y'all, they are breaking the law anyway. I don't know why you're going all through all this effort to do all this other stuff, because basically all you want to have is a paper trail to do something you're already going to do. There are people who don't have whole eyeballs anymore because you decided to fire a thing at them with a press pass. Like, what are you getting? What are you doing? What are you doing? And why are you doing it? And we also need to talk about, just real quick, if we can have that little aside here, that not having accessible language about what tech is and what it does and what that means and why it's important is the reason why these people who never use their computer except to get on AIM and send an email from that AOL email account that they've had unencrypted for 20 years, once a month, are out here making whole laws on technology they can't even read.
Wow.
Do you have any idea how much tech companies are getting away with at this point for no reason other than the fact that they have a whole bunch of esoteric language around what they do that a 5-year-old can probably grasp with a YouTube search, but these 50-year-old people don't know how to use?
Well,
I'm going to go ahead and have this other piece of chocolate because, listen,
you deserve
got
it.
me in my feelings.
You deserve it. Treat yourself, sir.
You deserve it.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. Treat yourself.
I can stand, y'all.
All right. So let's see, we got about half an hour to try to get the rest of this. But yeah. Not a good idea. This is not a good idea. Just not a good idea. Just not a good look.
No.
Now over to the game section. I'm gonna try to quickly go through these. Fortnite has gotten rid of police cars.
Good idea. Didn't have to. It was okay.
Yeah.
Didn't have to, but it was nice. It was nice. It was nice for them to do.
At the same point too, with their new update, there's no land, so
True.
yeah. Fortnite is holding its first movie night tomorrow. They're playing Inception.
Watching a movie inside of a game. That's about right.
I mean, that Travis Scott concert looked kind of dope, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I felt like I should have. I felt like I should have.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like this. What's it? Family Guy meme where Stewie was like, like he didn't go to like this parade or whatever. He was just sitting in his living room, was like, man, I should have went to that thing.
That was pretty much me when I was like, oh, it was that dope.
Yeah,
And I have Fortnite installed. I could have.
So yeah, the thing is, like, I wonder what it will look like. Like, is it just everybody's gonna sit around and watch this movie, or like is shit going to be happening in game while that happens? Because it's like in that party mode, so nobody's playing Fortnite while trying to watch a movie. Which I think I'd be upset if somebody tried to like build a house in front of the screen, like assholes. But
Yeah, we'll see.
Street Fighter V pros forfeit Capcom Pro Tour matches over lag. Apparently, 2 pros had an issue with one player in particular who had a ping so high that they could not really compete in their matches, so they forfeited. And see, we had a decent show today, but man, just people had to act up.
True.
Oh, they've been acting up. They've been acting up. Excuse me. They've been acting up. They just got called out on it.
It's just hit a head. It just hit the head today. Like this.
And
yeah.
I think I'll just say here, I am, because y'all already know I was in the DMs earlier this week, so I appreciate the fact that y'all made that we took the time to talk about that because I think it's important too.
Oh, most definitely.
Too.
Yeah, like, I mean, anytime. Like, these things need to be talked about. They need to be discussed. And, like, again, not talking about it is just complacency and supporting the bad actors in the scenario. So, yeah, fuck that. Like, we're definitely going to mention that.
We're going to talk about this.
Oh, yeah. Nintendo is retreating from the mobile gaming market. They have a Switch now. Why do they need cell phones? Apparently, I opened a new tab as opposed to closing a tab. Apex Legends is coming to mobile, but I think that was also announced during EA Play, which was something we were going to talk about last week. But again,
that was the last week. It's coming out on Switch, and it's coming out on Switch as well.
Yes,
for reasons. Yeah.
And it's on Steam currently.
Yeah.
Yep, it's on Steam now. Humble Bundles Fight for Racial Justice, which I think was, I don't know if we mentioned that. I don't know if this was 2 weeks ago or last week, but anywho, Humble Bundles Fight for Racial Justice bundle has raised over $4.3 million for charity. So,
hand clap of praise for Humble Bundle. Hand clap of praise. You can't hear it, but hand clap of praise.
Itch came through at the beginning. Humble bad at cleanup.
Yeah.
You best believe I got both of those bundles because why not? NBA 2K20 on a PC is, the best way to play that game. Even though I've been playing it on PS4 for the past month, which...
Yep. Mizuno batted third, and Miyuki batted up as the cleanup as the captain. Shout out to the 3 people who got that Ace of the Diamond reference.
Yep,
Shout out to them.
That was it.
And Saramura bunted as always. Anyway.
Yeah, that was...
I know, but still, had to do it.
Why though?
Pokemon Unite is a real-time team-based battle game coming to Switch and mobile with crossplay thanks to Tencent. So you can play Pokemoba.
Okay, listen. I have opinions.
Okay, I've fast-tracked this to this point. We now have time. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't mind. Like, y'all, half of the original Pokemon games, as you play them, have as a major plot point that you have to visit multiple gyms and stadiums. Y'all had Pokemon Snap. You had actual Pokemon Stadium. Like, how far did we think we were going to get before this MOBA showed up? If anything, y'all were like, what is it, like 5 years later than you should have been, if anything, with this MOBA. Like, by the time y'all came out with Go, Unite should have been like the next thing you did, and it should have been within like 2 years of that at the most.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, people were just like, why would you make Pokemon a MOBA? It's kind of just been there since you've been able to have matches with multiple people at the same time. Like, y'all been able to do that since Sword and Shield. Calm your nerves.
Yeah. And again, I don't like speaking these absolutes again, but I have to at Pokemon Unite. Nobody wanted this. Nobody was looking at Pokemon, looking at the Pokemon formula, and thought, what should Pokemon Go in? Oh, let's put it in the MOBA formula. No one was thinking this. And I looked at it. Nobody was thinking
either that. Okay, so, Kevin, I'm going to have to combat that with this. It was either that or Battle Royale. You know which one of those two options you want.
But see, that's the whole thing.
I mean, we could have just stopped at Snap.
At least I would be more hyped to see Battle Royale because Battle Royale fits in the realm of what's hot right now. MOBAs ain't really hot, except to the people who play MOBAs.
I mean, but then wouldn't we? Again, every time I bring up Fortnite, y'all got things to say about Fortnite. So.
But see, Fortnite...
I have things to say about Fortnite, but you know I'm salty about Fortnite, so let's not. And also I'm salty about Battle Royales in general, so also let's not. H1Z1 and PUBG can meet me in these Athens streets with a frying pan.
I mean, I played Apex like a couple times, and I didn't hate myself after I played it. So I thought, okay, sure. But I never would say, like, you know what, like... You know, even if they went the whole like Pokemon battle royale route, it would have made more sense than a freaking Pokemon MOBA. Because now I'm looking at it and hearing somebody playing it, and the absolute gall to make people wake up upwards of 6 o'clock in the morning on the West Coast to watch what they thought could have possibly been something, you know, absolutely nice. The fourth gen remakes, a possible Pokemon Stadium, a possible whatever, you know, maybe a TNG card game on the Switch, something. And then to find out it's a Pokemon MOBA? A Pokemon MOBA game?
Damn, I wouldn't mind playing the TNG.
Now, yeah, I would love to play some TNG. I would love to play TNG on the Switch. That.
Wait,
a TNG game on the Switch?
TCG.
Oh, I mean, TCG, I meant to say.
Yeah, it's a new TNG sound. TNG sounded right, but that's the next generation. Like,
yeah,
wrong acronym on that one.
Wrong acronym.
TCG, that's what we're looking for.
Yeah, TCG. I would have loved to play a TCG, you know, game on the Switch or on mobile. That would be cool because you could expand that, and there's people who are playing these who are loving the card games, would love to play the card games. But a fucking Pokemon mobile game? Who in the blue fuck wants that game? Anybody here? Anybody in the chat? Does anybody want Pokemon?
There actually is one person. Two people. There are 2 people in the chat.
2 people wanted it. Did you want it? Did you want it after you seen it, or did you want it?
No, after. Well, for one, it was after.
Kevin, let me stop you right there. Exactly what is marketing if not to create that want for things? Y'all act like we wanted battle royales before y'all made them. Stop.
Again, like I said earlier about Apple. Apple's notorious for that. They make you want something before you even knew you wanted it. I did not want to use Safari, but after the Apple keynote, I was like, you know what? I should give Safari a try. Like, that's a whole ass browser that's sitting on my MacBook that I've never look at. And now I'm like, I should really check out Safari.
I mean, we literally have games out there that people have made that people didn't ask for. I'll take Detroit Become Human as one, but we're not.
But see, that's adventure games.
Bye.
I mean, that's adventure games, though. There have been many companies who have made really good adventure games that are not even
they made good ones.
Again, nobody. But I mean, like Sid's right though. Nobody asked for a BR. Couple were made, and then Epic abandoned their actual original game to make a BR, and guess what? That's the top game.
Right. So I get why people. I get that oftentimes it comes out, but when you think about Pokemon, MOBA ain't it. And I'm just like, who thinks about a MOBA? Now, afterwards, when I looked at it and I seen that it was free, and I know, you know, the nature of my content, I'm going to probably play it. I'm probably going to stream it. But at the end of the day, I never was looking like, man, you know what I want? A Pokemon MOBA.
Diane just said there were literally 3. There were literally 3. There must be dozens. There must be dozens. Who was looking for this?
Dozens. But it's just like, I don't like to deal with absolutes, and I understand that people, you know, people there might be some folk that might be excited for it, but I really
at least a half a dozen.
I truly don't believe, maybe 2. I truly don't believe that people have like been clamoring for a Pokemon thing, and I know the level of disappointments, and literally seeing the likes to dislike ratios on the videos alone proves that nobody wanted this.
Actually, I need to take a look at that. What does that look like?
And I mean, the absolute nerve to separate that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh,
big drop.
20,000 to 25,000. Damn.
Yep. And that's on the official. You check out IGN, the IGN one. Whoo-wee. I know what I'm saying. So people don't want this. It's like, first of all, you have one event for Pokemon that is your main event. You drop Pokemon Snap, you drop Pokemon Chess Mix.
IGN's is still,
you know.
Hold on, maybe I didn't find the right one.
Mm-hmm. And then
because it's kind of tight still.
Yeah, and then you make people, and then you basically separate. Oh, guys, we got one more thing, And if this is supposed to be your one more thing, you drop your one more thing after the end. At the end of that, no, not no. Oh, we gonna make you get up on certain ends of the coast early to watch something that's a one more thing on a later date. And then you find out it's this. And I know people were pissed off about this. And the one thing that Pokemon needs, is Pokemon needs a solid tonal win for the fan base. Because all the Pokemon Sword and Shield stuff happened, and the National Pokedex, that was rough. And then you go into the whole things with the DLC, and that's kind of rough. Then you go with the whole Pokemon Home stuff, that's kind of rough. And then you go through the MOBA stuff, you know, I mean not the mobile stuff, the mobile stuff, and that stuff. And all dudes just be wanting to do is collect the Pokemans, and do the Pokemans. That's all they want. Oh, Cindy. You know, that's all they want. They want to be able to collect the Pokemans and show the Pokemans, and battle the Pokemans.
Right.
You have to make it. You have to give what the people. You have to get what the people what they want. This is what you created. Give more people what they want, and they would love a Pokemon Stadium, and you don't give it to them. You don't. You gave them Pokemon. You give them a new Pokemon Snap, and everybody was hype about it. I never heard nobody was unhype about new Pokemon Snap.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, I wouldn't mind playing it again until I realized, oh wait, it's on rails. We now have 3D controls. Like, why do we have to be on rails?
That was the first Pokemon Snap. It was always on rails.
Well, yeah, because again, you have the N64 controller. Like, you couldn't really move it through dimensions, but we now have a Switch.
Right.
Why can't I just walk around the Safari Zone?
Right. You should be able to.
Yeah, that's the thing. That is what bummed me out. Like when I saw the trailer for it, I was like, oh, we're still on rails. I don't know anymore. I don't want to be on rails. That's pretty much it for me. I just don't want to be on rails.
It's all I can say is Pokemon do better. That's it. Pokemon do better.
I will say one thing though, which is I'm very curious about whether they are going to do it correctly.
Chef, you are
there are
good
and interesting ways for them to do these MOBAs. And essentially, it would just be like, hey, here's a stadium battle plus some additional mechanics where you have teams of X number, whatever those happen to be. If they do that, they're probably going to get it right. If they stray too far from that, they're probably going to get it wrong. And please, let us learn from the first iteration of Pokemon Go and have it made by people who played and enjoyed the original games. Because y'all are going to have a time. Stop getting people who don't love these games to make other iterations or spin-off ideas of them. It never goes well.
I'm not sold on the whole Tencent being one of those people.
Well, Tencent is publishing it, and I guess it's how they're getting it on phones.
I feel you on that one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so Pokemoba coming to a mobile device near you.
Pokemon Unite.
Pokemoba. That's what I'm gonna call it. Forget Pokemon Unite. They lost an opportunity by not calling it Pokemoba.
You're right, Pokemoba. I like that.
Pokemoba is a great game. Pokemoba. All right. PlayStation is announcing a bug bounty program. Working with HackerOne. That company sounded familiar, but yes, if you are good at trying to hack and break things, here you go. Sign up for that. Of course, it seems to be coming out not too long before the launch of the new console. So would not be surprised if this exists because of the fact that they have not been able to really do any good QA because nobody's in the office to do it. Games with Gold has been announced for July. Of course, this next month you get access to WRC 8 FIA World Rally Championships Dunk Lords, Saints Row 2, and Juju. Of course, get your calendars ready. Also, I should probably put somewhere. I have if this then that recipe for this particular thing because I hate how they do this. Xbox One and Xbox 360 users can grab. Skip the line. WRC8 FIA World Rally Championship will be available on Xbox One from July 1st to 31st. Dunk Lords will be available from July 6th until August 15th on Xbox One. Xbox One and Xbox 360 users can get Saints Row 2 starting on July 1st up until the 15th, and Juju will be available on the 16th until the end of the month. Of course, if you have not done so already, Coffee Talk is still available until July 15th, and Cinnamore, I think I'm not sure how to pronounce that. And Shantae and the Pirate's Curse are both available until the end of this month. So definitely, if you have PlayStation, definitely not PlayStation. If you have Xbox Live Gold or Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, these games can be yours. And of course, we can't end gaming talk without talking about the new hotness that dropped today. We got more Cyberpunk 2077 action. More footage was shown. I guess some talk about the beginning of the game and how, and then you can choose whichever role. If you have a choice between Nomad, Street Punk, or something like that, Street Kid, and Corporate. And no matter which one you choose, depending on the one you choose, you get a different intro story to the game and how you meet kind of your friend. And, that kind of gets played throughout the entire game. They also talked about brain dancing, which is essentially, how I guess the next step for VR, where you literally dive into the brain of somebody else and you kind of observe those memories as if they were your own. Of course, they said, it was initially just with almost any technology we have now, it was used for medical research or whatever, but then it kind of got into the entertainment industry, to where, of course, sex will be the one thing that people will use that for.
Yeah.
But yeah, other levels of escapism. Of course, the one that they demonstrated was you were playing the role of somebody who's robbing a convenience store and then get shot at the end. And apparently that's a big thing that, people pay for to experience that kind of thing. Yeah, that's
okay.
This story gets really, really weird. But yeah, so new Cyberpunk 2077 and stuff came out. And they also said that some members of the press have played 4 hours of the game already. Yeah. So a lot of first impressions are up. I know Blessing Adeoye Jr. of Kind of Funny has his up there over at Kind of Funny's YouTube page. Paris Lily of Gamertag Radio has his up. I think he did a YouTube, I want to say it was a YouTube live. I'm not sure if it was that or he just posted his video after he finished, because I think he was over at IGN doing a recap. But yeah, he posted his first impressions over at I think his personal YouTube channel that today.
Yes, so, Skill Up has his. I seen Skill Up has his.
Okay. Yeah, I only follow but so many gaming outlets, so I was I don't know about the two. I don't know anything about Giant Bomb, but yeah.
Sure, Giant Bomb has it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure it's up now. If I refresh my RSS feed, I'll see it. But yeah. So yeah, if you're interested in some Cyberpunk 2077, they've got some new footage out. They've got some first impressions, the first 4 hours of the game. Also, it was weird. Xbox had one. Jeff Rubenstein had talked about it, which seemed weird for him to kind of go back into his games media days. Of course, we got some updates for you. NVIDIA has released some new drivers, putting out that DirectX 12 Ultimate So if you have those ray tracing cards, you'll be ready to use those in more video games and other things. Of course, when AMD releases their ray tracing cards, they'll be available for that too. But of course, they're laying down the groundwork for November, when all those brand new shiny consoles come out, which or at least with Xbox will be using DirectX 12 Ultimate in it. No word on what PS4 is using for theirs, but probably Vulkan. I don't know. That's actually a good question. I wonder what Sony uses for their graphics APIs.
It might be Vulkan. I think it's like AMD.
Well, I mean, that's the card. I mean, that's the graphics SoC. And like both Sony and Microsoft use AMD CPU and graphics. Yeah. Like that underlying software APIs. I wonder what Sony uses. Because like Xbox is literally direct Xbox.
Right.
And of course, deals for today.
Oh, deals.
Hide your wallets. Ladies and gentlemen, the Steam Summer Sale is now upon us.
Yeah. Talking about this with my mod the other day, where we was like, Steam Summer Sale's coming. Don't know when. And it was literally like that next day. It was the next day. Looked up. It was there. And I was like, Brittany, got some shopping to do.
Also, again, this was a topic from last week, but this reminded me, one of the things that we were going to talk about last week was the fact that because Steam had not issued a statement about, whether or not they were going to, support the movement, indie developers were pulling their games from the platform. Of course, once that started, Steam was like, you know what? Nah, we're going to support game developers of color. Look, sorry it took us so long. My bad. Hey, we're here. We got y'all. I'm gonna see if I can actually pull that up.
I know Epic and GOG was like, excellent.
Yep, indie devs remove their games from Steam over Valve's silence. Oh, Valve is set to sponsor the Game Devs of Color Expo. So let's see. I'm gonna pull these up.
Purse.
So yeah, that announcement came out on the 16th. Okay. I hate relative dates. I hate when websites use relative dates instead of an actual date, whereas I can see that. Okay, it was posted then. Don't make me do work on your website. But yeah, this came out after that. So yeah, Steam doesn't like to get left out in the dust. People start leaving their platform. They're like, okay, you know what? You know what? You're right. My bad. Sorry. Well, that's it. We made it. We made
Hand clapping praise
to the end.
Hand clapping praise.
You all right there, Sin?
Fine. I'm acting right over here. That's all we're gonna say about that.
No, what's up, man?
No, we're good. We're good.
Get off your chest, man.
No, fine. We're fine.
Look,
Trust me on this. We're fine.
We got 12 minutes. We got 12 minutes of the allotted 3 hours that T. Lee has graciously left us.
No. We're good.
You sure?
I promise. We're good.
Okay.
Next Thursday, I don't know, but this Thursday, we're fine.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to Tech Talk Thursdays for the week of June 25th, 2020. Yeah, I think so. I do want to give you guys a heads up now, unless Kev and Sin would like to host a show on the, I think it'll be the 9th. I think the 9th is 2 weeks from today. I will not be here. I'm taking the week off. I am going to disconnect, mainly because I literally have to unplug my internet from one house and plug it into another one. So or not even just that, like everything. I've got to shut this whole thing down and got to move it. So I'm taking the entire week to do that because also sleep has to be had. So yeah, in about 2 weeks, I will not be here. So again, if Kevin Sin would like to do that, yeah, there may or may not be a show.
Are you sure?
Huh?
Y'all better tell Linux not to let me do this stuff. tell him he better don't.
We both ran, I'm a rambler, and Sin leaves.
I'm just gonna turn on and see what
you're gonna get, because it's either going to be, well, here's the news for this week and we'll talk about it, or it's gonna be, well, we were gonna talk about some news, but since 2020 has decided it's not going to stop with things popping off, we're gonna talk about the whole thing again. Kevin, go ahead and take a break. I need to go ahead and talk about some other thing that Facebook done did with all the Mixer partners they just got.
And it literally would just be,
right.
and it literally just be me looking like this, be like,
oh, you right. That is totally gonna happen. What I'm gonna be, I will be mad. I'm seriously gonna be mad if some huge shit pops off while I'm gone. I will be looking at Felix. I gotta hurry up and hook all this shit back up. Nah, we gotta have a show. I can't not let it happen. I can't let this go.
Even if you gotta do a show on like some milk crates.
I mean, I feel like
I'm coming to you live from Periscope.
I feel like Kev is personally attacking me because one of my computers is literally in what looks like a milk crate.
No, I'm just like, yeah. There've been many a time where I'm like, we had to do these floors open, and literally my whole room was like a desk and everything was set up, and I had no bed. I was like, I would go into this room and I would stream, and then I would just like, all right, good night, and I would sleep on the couch. Like, it was like, so there'd be sometimes, like, again, priorities. I ain't had a bed nan, but I had to get the setup up, because I was like, if I don't stream today, I will literally like be the last 10 minutes of Joker. I'm not finna do this. I'm about to be the last 30 minutes of Joker.
And it's a whole thing of
I don't get a stream going.
And it's a whole thing of like,
Sorry, I didn't quite catch
oh my
that.
God, Siri, shut up. Nobody is talking to you.
Yeah, Google does that on a regular basis, and I want them to not.
It's that whole thing of, I know I need to take that break, but at the same time too, especially now, like this past month, I've gotten into such a rhythm to where it does bug me that I don't produce the content, especially with this show. Especially with this show, I love creating the show with you guys. And of course, like I know. Sin brought up a challenge. It shouldn't even be a challenge. She actually just brought up a very legitimate. Oh my God! Stop falling asleep. He brought up a very legitimate concern, something that we should be taking a look at. So I'm hoping that soon we can fix this problem. That way, maybe we can all take a night off. Like, you just clear the floor.
Hope so.
So that way, we can hear from other voices.
I think that would be a really great thing.
Of course, I would. Yeah. Like I mentioned before, I would like to have Anka back. The one person who started this with me to begin with, who just disappeared. Nah, but I get why. And again, like I talk to her quite often, I get why. But yeah. But yeah, it'd be nice to hear. It'd be nice to hear from. It'd be nice to hear from some women. It really would be. And this was before. These conversations were happening before the bottom fell out. Like, this was actually a conversation from last Thursday's show.
I think if we could just literally just be like, our time slot is just like 2 3 hours of just being like the women in our community, just being able to talk about the stuff that's going on in their lives, and just be able to talk about the abuse and the harassment that they've suffered, and to be able to let people know that yes, it's happening on this damn platform. No, it's not fixed, and yes, we have a long way to go. And I feel like once we be able to have these where we don't shy away from having these conversations, I think that's when real change is going to happen. Because what ends up happening is we like to paint these like beautiful and rosy pictures of people being, oh, we're all nice, and trolls are just trolls are just in that corner of the platform when the real predators are in front of the camera talking and playing these video games. I feel like I do talk about it too, but I can't talk about it too much because I'm usually playing Horizon or Animal Crossing so much. But if somebody does ask me, I will say, hey, we got a long way to go. This shit's not perfect. Don't let the last 2 minutes, 2 hours of me playing this wonderful, wonderful, beautiful game of Animal Crossing fool you. My character has a Black Lives Matter shirt and a mask on a regular. I may not be with y'all in spirit. I may not be with y'all out there, but I am in solidarity in this cute game, and I am just here letting people know that even in Animal Crossing, Black lives do matter. So please believe I will take time to educate you in the midst of this game, but I just don't do that too much because I'm trying to like focus on, making sure I got all my fossils, that I catch my fish, that I make enough fish bait. But trust me, I can do both. I can make fish bait and call people out on their assholish behavior. I can do both. I said that on Twitter.
We will make that time. We can multitask.
Right. We can make that time. I literally was retweeting. I was literally on there saying like, this is some bullshit, and championing for like Brandy's version of Cinderella, Brandy and Whitney's version of Cinderella to be on Disney Plus. It is a Disney product. It was produced by Disney. It was premiered on ABC, which is also owned by Disney. Why in the blue fuck is it not on Disney? Is it not on Disney Plus? Everything else is on Disney Plus. Why isn't it on Disney Plus?
Like all of the racist catalog.
I feel like you have like some deep concerns here, some strong feelings about the subject.
Oh yeah, I have very strong opinions about the subject because it's a wonderful movie. It's a great movie. Brandy has great songs in it. Brandy can sing. Whitney can sing. Whoopi's in it. The prince is a prince of color. It's a good act. Like there are people of color in the movie. It's a great representation. It's funny as hell. It's entertaining. It's a great watch. But it's not on Disney Plus. They mentioned, it's on It's on It's on YouTube. But yeah, that's YouTube. Everything's on YouTube. Why isn't it on Disney Plus? So anyway, I don't mean to take your time up by a little rant.
Take your time about to take your time.
But I was literally like, I can legit talk about. I can literally want to call people on their bullshit, and talk about why this movie is not on Disney Plus, and talk about 90 Day Fiancé stuff, and be excited about new Animal Crossing updates. I can do all of it. I can do all of it. I will do all of it. But, if we don't speak out on these issues, nothing gets better. We have to champion it for these things. If we don't call it out and be like, hey, why isn't this movie on this platform? Hey, why are white people voicing black cartoon characters? Who thought that was a good idea? We have to champion for representation. We have to champion for properties being on the platforms that are supposed to be made on these properties. And we have to call people out on it. We have to be like, hey, you're an asshole. Because you did asshole-ish shit. And I may not know you, but I don't fuck with you enough to be able to say like, hey, I'm a cover for you. No. No. Just not going to do it. That stops today. Anyway, I'm sorry, y'all.
No, you good.
Yeah.
On that note, you heard him. He said it.
I said it with my whole chest. With my whole chest.
The entirety of it. Well, that's been Tech Talk Thursday. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Of course, on behalf of Kev, on behalf of Sin, it's been your boy, Mark Summers, Major Linux. Of course, we're going to toss this host over. See, I was prepared. It's not like I wasn't listening to the sermon, but I was preparing in the background. We'll throw the host over to Drunken Buddha. I'm upset that he's not cooking, but he's playing The Last of Us Part 2. So I guess if you don't want to get spoiled, then maybe dip out a little early. But if you definitely want to check out some of that Naughty Dog action, definitely check it out. Last of Us Part 2 being played by Drunk Buddha. We're going to head on over there. Of course, you guys could have been anywhere in the world, watching any stream in the world. You could have been reading the tech news and stuff, but, you came through. You let us read it to you, and we definitely do appreciate it. Of course, all I've got left to say to you wonderful people is I love you. Peace out.
Black Lives Matter.